afternoon of continuous severe weather coverage right here on News 9. And again, the storms are about ready to take off. We have one severe storm in western Oklahoma right now that we're looking at. And trackers are out in full force today. It's going to be a big weather day, folks. So you got to stay plugged in today. You can't just go about your business. I know a lot of folks work at night. They sleep during the day. People are traveling through. School is being let out, or schools, for some of us, not even in session today. But colleges are out. Universities are out. We have people in town that aren't normally here this time of year. There's a lot going on. So, again, if you're going to be in Oklahoma today, if you're going to be in from central into western and southwestern Oklahoma, you have to stay plugged in today, okay? This is one of those days that we don't have every year. This is one of those days that we might have every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, okay, as far as the potential to get strong to very severe storms. And I'm talking about large hail, damaging winds. And here's a kicker out of this whole thing. The atmosphere is set up. It is conducive today to see not only several tornadoes, not only to have an outbreak of tornadoes, but also strong to violent tornadoes. The weak tornadoes, those are the ones that we do worry about, but not as much. It's the killer tornadoes, the EF4s and the EF5s. Those are the ones that really give us the biggest problems and cause the most harm and the highest loss of life, okay? Those are the ones that we have to worry about. We all know that. We've been through this so many times, but we still have to be weather aware. You've got to be plugged in all afternoon. This will go on into this evening, and this is going to go on even into tonight, all right? And we're going to be right here, all right? We've got our trackers out. Val, everybody out today, Marty, Logan, largest team of trackers in the nation's out today. We brought in our resources from Tulsa. They're out with their chopper. We've doubled down on everything. We've doubled the storm tracker numbers. We've doubled our chopper numbers. Again, we have 2 in place today. Jim Gardner's up. And the bottom line is we're going to have severe weather, and we're going to have some tornadoes today, and we're going to hunt these things down and show you exactly where they are, what they're doing, and where they're going, okay? So keep it right here on News 9, and again, we'll get through this together, all right? Okay, let's get to it here. Let's go to Links 1, the Tornado Watch. That is in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. Okay, now that is a PDS watch. Now, what does that mean? It's a particularly dangerous situation, all right? PDS watch, it just means that we're in store for high-end storms producing high-end severe weather. Okay, the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center have put this watch out, and they're looking at the same things that we're looking at. Strong dynamics in the mid-levels, in the low levels, high instability. The atmosphere is very unstable, and we don't have much of a cap or a lid in place. That's why storms are not only going to fire on the dry line out in the panhandle, but they're going to fire to the east, kind of in the open air, away from the dry line and south of the warm front. So it's going to be kind of one of those deals where it's not just one area. It's going to be areas in the west, also in the southwest, also into central Oklahoma that have the highest threat for seeing tornadic supercells and rotating thunderstorms, okay? All right, so what we have going on right now are severe storms in the west coming out into Roger Mills County, but this is behind the boundary. All right, so that's going to produce large hail and damaging winds. It's in the 50s right here where that storm is. Okay, it's in the 50s right there. It would be extremely rare if that were to produce a tornado. Now, northern Oklahoma, this is all rain, scattered showers and thunderstorms there. Everything lifting off to the northeast. Here's another deal with today that has me a little concerned. Any tornado, whatever size it is, whatever size tornado develops today, the speed in the atmosphere is going to be such that these storms are going to move to the northeast at 40 to nearly 50 miles per hour. Today separates, when you're talking about storm trackers and what they do and the jobs that they do, this will separate the people that are really, really good at their jobs tracking storms and the ones that are the amateurs that don't need to be out there today, okay? This is one of those days where the storms are going to be moving so quickly that amateur storm chasers need to stay home. This is for the, again, veterans only, right? And that's what we have right here at News 9. These guys are weathered, right? Over 350 years experience, over 350 years chasing experience, chasing tornadoes. All right, so storm coming into Canton. I'm not worried about it right now. A little bit of wind and hail with that. That one severe storm out near Cheyenne. We'll take a closer look at that coming up here in the metro. I want to point out we've got some showers here, and these are almost thunderstorms, and these are going to ride up 81. And this is what's going to happen. See how just in the last hour or so these continue to grow? That's what is going to eventually begin to really grow and begin to turn into supercells, and we get the rotating thunderstorms. This is how it's going to begin. That's how it's going to begin right there. We're going to have these individual storms that continue to get stronger and, again, causes problems. Here in the city right now, we've got a couple of showers going on. Jim Gardner is right there. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to Jim coming up here in just a second. We're going to check in with Jim, and he's looking down at this southern storm here. It's almost a thunderstorm. We're close to it. And then we're going to have more thunderstorms developing back into southwestern and western Oklahoma. And those, again, are going to be severe as well, with the threat being large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. And then later this evening and tonight, we're going to have a flooding threat. Okay, so the way it is right now, the threat level, it is high. All right, that's as high as we have here at News 9. That's our highest threat level. And that just means that anywhere in the red, okay, especially from central, western, and southwestern Oklahoma, we're going to have severe weather, and it's going to be high-end severe weather with large hail, damaging winds, and that high tornado threat. So our tornado zone for the hatched area is very high today. We're going to put it at a priority 1, and that's going to be for a violent outbreak of tornadoes with many tornadoes possible. And a few of those tornadoes could be on the ground for several miles, maybe as high as a couple of counties, maybe as long as going through maybe a county or two. Long track tornadoes are possible today. All right, worst case scenario, long track tornadoes doing a lot of damage that are strong and violent, moving at 40 to 50 miles per hour. That's a big problem, okay? That's a big problem. So if you're at home, if you're watching us right now, just leave the TV on, go about your day. If you're working, go about your day, but leave the TV on, leave your phone on. Make sure if you're home right now that your phone is charged, you have a backup charger, and you're just ready to stay plugged in, whether it's through the TV or whether it's through your cell phone for the afternoon, clear into this evening. All right, download the News 9 app. All right, download the News 9 app in case you kind of unplug from us for a while, and just stay plugged in. It's not a day to just go about your business and go goofing off somewhere and doing whatever for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours. You've got to stay plugged in today and pay attention to where these storms are. Is everyone going to have a tornado today? Absolutely not. Are we going to have tornadoes today? Yes. It sure looks like it, right? But the problem is that when people unplug, we get problems, right? You have to stay plugged in. Okay, so that's my tornado zone, and then the outbreak area, it's going to be south of the boundary. It's going to be up to Oklahoma City, up to Stillwater, up, again, as far northeast as Tulsa, and then from there back down towards Altus. Okay, that's where the most likely area would be for that tornado outbreak as we get into the afternoon. All right, so, yeah, let's go to Links 3. By the way, the hail is high, as large as tennis ball to baseball, and there might even be some softball size hail. Lacey just brought this up, and there's the warm front. Now, north of this boundary, all right, this is key. North of this boundary, dew points are in the 40s and 50s. It's much more unstable here. But look south here. Look at Oklahoma City. It's 71 dew point. 71 dew point in El Reno. Look at the 74 dew points down here in Ardmore. Here's the problem. This moisture down here, these low to mid 70 dew points, they're moving north at about 60 miles per hour in the atmosphere. They'll be here in 2 hours, okay, give or take. So this higher content moisture is fuel for supercells that's going to come into Oklahoma City and to western and southwestern Oklahoma. This boundary is key. Anything along the boundary and south of it, that's where the tornadoes will be this afternoon and into this evening. All right, that's where they're going to be. Okay, let's go and let's do a storm track. Let's go to Links 4. And Cassie has that up. Let's go to Links 4 and do a storm track on the storms out west. I want to point out temperatures out here in the 50s right now. Okay, it's cool out here. So this storm is going to be what we call elevated. It's not down into the dew points in the 60s or the 70s. It's in cool air. So it's still rotating. Yes, it has mid-level rotation, absolutely. But this is going to be a wind and hail threat. Quarter, golf ball, there might even be some tennis ball size hail right now going through Rayton, and that's going to head up towards Roll. All right, so there's your timeline. This is a leading edge coming into Roll here shortly, but it'll be a little bit behind it when the main part of the most severe weather arrives. Roll, you have a few minutes before the big wave comes in, but give or take, Strong City at about 222, Vici 311, Woodward at about 335, and Moreland at about 340. As long as this storm stays along and north of the boundary, that will only produce damaging wind and hail, all right? Same with the storm to the east. Other severe storm now near Butler. That's going to be lifting up into cooler air. That's a good thing. We want that storm to go into cooler air. And that's going to go up now west of Morewood to Loga at about 255. Give or take, ceiling, it might lift a little farther north and west than Loga. Chester, 315. Bouse Junction, 337. Tacoma at about 408. So these are the only severe storms we have in western Oklahoma. Let's go back to link 3. Here's our other problem we have going on. Let me show you link 3. Multiple supercells developing in the Texas Panhandle. These are all capable of producing tornadoes here shortly. Okay? All these storms are going to be severe. This is one area that we're going to watch. Okay? This is going to get filled in with the storms that develop out ahead of the main line, but also these storms coming out of the Texas Panhandle. The threats are going to be large hail, damaging winds, and again, tornadoes in that. Okay? And then we have to watch an area between Oklahoma City and Weatherford down to Snyder and Lawton, which won't be impacted by these early in the day, but we have a chance for supercells just to develop in open air in this area. All right? And those storms in that same environment, high instability, lots of spin in the atmosphere, strong jet stream, mid-level jet, low-level jet stream, it's all there to give us, again, strong tornadoes and a lot of tornadoes and a lot of severe weather. All right? So that's the deal. That's the deal. Let's go up top. Let's check in with Jim Gardner. He's out in Canadian County. He's tracking these showers here, and you're thinking, really, what are we doing there? Well, here's the deal. They're showers now, but those will quickly turn into thunderstorms, and it won't take long. There's so much spinning in the atmosphere. Every minute that goes by, every hour that goes by, the storms, again, will have a chance to produce tornadoes as they get stronger because the conditions become more favorable for the afternoon and for the evening. Jim Gardner, you and I have been doing this a long time together. Let's go to Jim Gardner, and Jim's been doing this for over 20 years here in Oklahoma, actually going on 30 years. And Jim has seen the worst of the worst. He's tracked all the big severe weather days going back to May 3rd of 1999. There's nobody that has more experience in the air than Jim Gardner. Simply put, hands down, no room, no need for discussion. Let's go to Jim and get an update on these storms. Jim, go ahead, give us an update on what you're tracking out in Canadian County. Not severe, but they're beginning to increase. Go ahead, Jim.
That's exactly right, David. We're out here just past El Reno. Look, watching these storms as they develop. Now, we got one to the southwest of us, David, that is developing, like you said, that as it moves up, it's going to get, this is really traveling fast, so it's going to be here pretty quick. And again, David, it's one of those days like all the rest of our trackers have been talking about. You walk outside, you just kind of know, and you kind of feel what's in the air and the humidity, that this could be a really severe day. But anyway, we're in really good position here, David, to start picking these storms up as they come into the metro. We'll keep you updated. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9, back to you.
Okay, all right, great job there, Jim. And again, Jim's going to be up the entire time. We have all of our resources in place to keep you and your family informed, to keep you and your family safe throughout the day, giving you the latest information on where the severe weather is and what these storms are doing and when they're doing it. Again, going to be an afternoon where we're going to have, again, many, many storms. Now, is every storm going to produce a tornado? Probably not. But the question is, and it's the question we've had forever, is why does a storm 10 miles away produce a tornado while the storm to the east in the same environment does not produce a tornado? So we have to cover all of them, right? It's not that easy. If you've got 1 or 2 storms, it's no big deal. But we're going to have a multitude of storms. We're going to have 4, 5, 6, 7 storms trying to do things like, again, produce tornadoes. Okay, so southwestern Oklahoma here, Alan Brosey coming in from the southwest, supercell there. New tornado warning now. It's going to be south of Turkey, Texas with that storm. Probably if not a tornado on the ground, there will be shortly out of that. So let's bring it on in. Hollis at about 4 o'clock, Duke at about 4:13, Altus at about 4:22. All right, and our trackers will be easily in place by the time that rolls around. So Alan Brosey's coming in there. We've got Tom coming in from the southwest. But once again, this is headed for southwestern Oklahoma. You folks in Hollis, Vinson, Sayre, again, back down towards Mangum. My concern today, looking at some of the dynamics, looking at some of the parameters we have, that we get possibly the longest track tornado today, the one that does the most damage, which is on the ground for the longest time, out in western and southwestern Oklahoma. All right, so I'll just put it like this. If I live in Clinton, Cordell, Hobart, Roosevelt, Altus, Frederick, down to Hollis, I'm in that triple red alert mode, if you will. And I'm going to stay there for the afternoon into this evening because the atmosphere is very, very volatile down here to get that severe weather to ramp up. And this is the beginning of it right now. You're watching it right now unfold with these storms increasing. These are going to be supercells we're going to have to pay attention to.
tornado warned. It's right on the boundary.
Okay, it's right on the boundary. As long as it stays on the boundary, it's going to produce wind and hail. And we'll see how much longer it can actually hug the boundary. It's going to be southwest of Cheyenne, between there and Dempsey. Justin, we got him making the turn? Okay. All right, let's get him going. So this is going to be a tornado warning now. Here's Ellis. Here's Roger Mills County. This is going to be for you folks in Cheyenne. And again, it's very close. Again, the temperatures up here, aren't we like in the mid-50s? I mean, it's like right at Cheyenne, or just north of Cheyenne.
Cheyenne has a north wind, and it's 53 degrees. I mean, this is just right on the actual boundary.
So again, now you can get tornadoes in 55-degree air. You can get tornadoes in 40-degree air in parts of the high plains. But with this setup today, 55 degrees north of Cheyenne is not going to do it. It's got to be down here. And where the hook is, this is where this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This is the updraft right here. This is where it's all going in. This is where it's breathing, right? It's breathing in here. That is where, once again, it's still able to pull in the warm, moist air. That's why that tornado warning continues. But if this goes any farther north, it's going to lose that threat of a tornado. But right now, it's obviously still there. But, I mean, we are hugging the line. We literally are just a few miles away from it being more of a wind-hail threat versus a tornado threat. But here's the deal. Cheyenne, strong city. You need to go to your safe spot. It's going to be the lowest level, okay? Cheyenne, you're in that line of fire right now, even though you're in the 50s. It's going to be from Cheyenne down to the south, down 283. All right, that's going to be our concern. This storm is looking a little suspicious, but it's kind of stretched out, and it's going to lift north into the cooler air. All right, and that's good. Let it lift north into the cooler air. It'll take the instability out of it and becomes mainly a wind and a hail threat. Okay.
And David, while that's going on, Cassie was just pointing out in northern Grady County, we have another supercell near Minko. It's the one Jim's on. Does have some rotation with it. It's nothing too extreme. I'll kind of zoom in on it here on Links 3.
Yeah.
So you can see it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, looking at this, Jim's looking at this storm. So it does have some rotation with it. It's basically approaching Cogar now, heading up towards Union City and Minko. But you can see just a little bit, I'm going to zoom all the way in here. Tom and Rob's close to that area as well. A little bit of shear to it, a little bit of rotation as it's lifting to the north towards Highway 37. If we look at reflectivity and then velocity, see the green showing up? Well, there you go. There's the severe thunderstorm warning for that cell, okay? That's also lifting to the north and has to be monitored closely. And unfortunately, this is all developing in just the last, 10 to 15 minutes. That's what's going to happen. We have to monitor every single one of these cells. The tornado is not imminent with that one, but it is severe, headed up towards El Reno. Cassie has a track on that on Links 4. Cassie, want to give us those times?
Yeah, I went ahead and I put the track. It's basically going almost due northeast.
We're on Links 4.
Yes, on Links 4 control room. If we can go to Links 4, there we go. I've got it moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour. These storms are moving very quickly. It would be in El Reno at about 246. It's 228 right now. The Lucky Star Casino at 254. Okarche at 308. Kingfisher at 323. Eventually Covington at 411 and Garber at 424. Breckenridge at 425. And keeping in mind, I've got these storms moving at 40 miles an hour. They are going to be fast movers.
Yeah, and guys, that's what we've been saying. That's a problem, right? Having tornadoes moving at 40 miles per hour, maybe as high as 50, but 40 plus, that's a big deal. Much harder to chase. They can do more damage because they're moving over an area faster, right? It's just not good. There's nothing good about a fast-moving tornado, okay? But see the hook here developing on that? Jim Gardner's right there, and he's looking right at it. He's right here on the north side. We've got Hank in from the south, and Jim's going to be on that as we track that to the north. And again, here's the deal for today. We're going to have several of these. We're going to have quite a few storms developing with this line. It's not only going to be here in central Oklahoma, but we're going to have storms going on out west. So there's Val, and Val's going to come in from the east on that. Let's go out to Valcaster. He is west of it. Let's go to Valcaster. Shear rate's beginning to increase just a bit. And Val, that storm to your east is getting stronger. It is beginning to spin slowly, and it's going to ramp up. Give me an update. What you think? Do we have Val? Justin?
He's there.
Okay. All right, let's come back. I'll tell you what, let's go back to radar. Let's go back to Links 3, and I want to point out the rotation in western Oklahoma. Southwest of Cheyenne. There it is. Pretty strong rotation now. This is right on the front. North of here, you get wind and hail. South of this, you're going to get a tornado, and it's going to Cheyenne.
David,
you folks in Cheyenne have got to be, go.
Just took a time on that. That's moving about a mile a minute.
Okay,
right
so
now.
that's, yeah, we're at 60.
It's about 60 miles an hour. Yeah.
Okay, we said 40 to 50. Right now, everything might slow down a little bit. 60 miles per hour, 50 to 60 miles per hour, folks. I mean, it is hauling. It's going to go from west of Cheyenne. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here.
Okay, they are sounding the sirens in Cheyenne.
Okay, sirens are now being sounded in Cheyenne. And then from there back to the southwest, and then from there up to Strong City. Okay, here's shear rate. Again, exclusively to News 9. This is live. You're seeing that right there. There's the area of spin crossing Highway 47. Tornado warning now. Marty Logan coming in from the south and the southeast. Let's go to Marty Logan and get an update. Let's go to Marty Logan and get an update from him as he comes in from the southeast. And this is the kind of atmosphere you're going to get once you get up near that front. That's what you're going to see up closer to the warm front is kind of a gungy mess. Let's go to Marty. And Marty, tornado warning continues to your west-northwest, not that far. You're closing in on it hard and fast. Give me an update on what you're seeing now looking off to your west and northwest. Go ahead.
Yeah, just up to the northwest. The rain-free bases are up in there. Nothing on the ground that we can see from here, just coming by Butler Rodeo, Carpenter area. But my temperature went from 73 down to 62 just north of Elk City. So maybe that's going to starve what we got up there. But we're going to head on that way anyway and see what we can find.
Okay, Marty, there you go. Stay with it. Stay with it. And Marty's coming in hard and fast from the east-southeast. Marty and Deb, they're doing a great job. And again, they're going to come in from the east on that storm. Okay, let's go back to Links 1 and, Links 3. My bad, Links 3. And I'll show you what's going on with the storms out west. Once again, tornado warning now. This is going to be for Roger Mills County. You folks in Cheyenne, the sirens are blowing. You got to go to your safe spot right now. There's the hook. This is right on the boundary. Up here, it's too cool for tornadoes. But right there, it is not. But again, Cheyenne temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, so it's very cool here. That's going to head towards Cheyenne, and then from there towards Strong City. Possible tornado with that. All right, Marty's right there. He does not see the tornado on the ground. This storm, not too scary right now, but we need to watch it. Bobby Payne is close to that, coming in from the southeast. That storm is going up, and it's headed towards Loga. Okay, so we're tracking that. And again, we're tracking the storm down here near Cheyenne. Let's go back to Oklahoma City. Let's talk about the metro. Again, once again, the tornado watch is in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. I'll show you that. It includes just about everybody. And we'll switch radars here. This is where Jim is. And we need to get Jim Gardner's shot up. Was he? Yeah, we need to make sure. Okay, I see it. I see a shot. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's Jim. And this right here. See the hook developing on that? Not very big. Not a very big storm. But nonetheless, this is a rotating thunderstorm. It is now severe. East of Kogar, it's going to be south and west of Union City. It's going to El Reno. It's going to El Reno. And, hey, Greg? Yeah. Yeah, he's got about 5-6 minutes.
It won't take any longer than that.
Okay.
He'll be gone.
Okay. And 5 minutes, and he's got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay? No more than that. They're moving north at 50 to 60. It's going to be on his door. He's got to get out of there sooner than later. Okay, so Jim's here, and this is a supercell. It's a rotating thunderstorm. And, guys, I tell you what, we have our El Reno cam. Let's turn in and get it positioned to the south here, too, if we can. Let's take our El Reno cam and push it to the south, and we'll get that going here in just a little bit. But this is what I'm worried about right now. Shear rate getting stronger. Here's El Reno. This is the El Reno Airport. There's Union City. Area of circulation now is going to be just east of Kogar, and it's going to be right down Highway 37, crossing Highway 37, and lifting to the north. Same speed on that. Is it 50? 50 to 60?
Let me look.
It's close. It sure looks like it.
Every bit of 45, yeah.
Maybe not quite as fast, but it's still moving. Okay, so looking at velocity data right here. Little area of spin, little area of shear. You can see it. It's not exceptionally strong right now, but you can clearly see what we call cyclonic shear in that thunderstorm. You can see the spin there, if you will, right? You can see the hook beginning to develop now just on top and east of Kogar. So that's where it is right there. It's on the eastern sides of Kogar, not by much, okay? All right, so we have that going on. That's severe. That's going to go to El Reno. Let's do a storm track on that. And let's go to Links 4, control room. Go to Links 4. We got to watch every one of these showers because these showers are going to turn into thunderstorms. Okay? And they're going to turn into, some of them are going to be big and bad thunderstorms. Okay, but right now, Supercell, El Reno at El Reno Airport at 2:39. That's about 4 minutes. Banner is about 2:42. El Reno downtown, 2:43. Okarche at 3:03. Kingfisher, 3:15. And Dover at about 3:26. Bison at about 3:47. And Vance at about 4 o'clock. So still a ways away from there. But once again, this atmosphere here is very unstable all the way up to about Highway 33 right now. And then once you get north of that, it becomes more stable because that's north of the warm front. But this is clearly in the zone of we could have problems out of that storm. But right now, it's severe. It does have a mesocyclone in it. It is turning, and it's ramping up, moving north-northeast at nearly 50 miles per hour. Okay, now we're going to have some hail and a little bit of wind going into El Reno. But the bottom line is the hook is still back here. And again, it's moving north-northeast. And this is the area that we have to watch for something developing right here. Okay, there's Highway 37. There's Union City. There's Minko. There's Mustang. There's the old Xerox plant. There's Reno and Wiley Post. Let's back out of this just for a second. See what's going on farther south. Again, these are just showers right now. These are just showers from Chickasha down to Ninnekah, down to Rush Springs. But obviously, I'm worried about these possibly doing something, right? I'm worried about these turning into supercells because that's what we think is going to happen. We think that we will get several clusters of supercells and rotating thunderstorm in random, in chaos, just kind of here and there. There might be one over here. There might be one down in Wayne. There might be one over Shawnee. Von Castor's in Shawnee right now. But this is a storm now of concern for the western sides of Oklahoma City. All right, let's go to the Barron button here. Let's see what our hail sizes are. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy out of this yet. I mean, that's good. This is going to be nickel and dime size hail, right? The hail sizes are not that large in that. They're not that large. Hail sizes are larger back out here with our western storms. Western storms for sure. Okay, Marty Logan's coming in from the east on that. Let's go back out to Marty, and let's check in with Marty. He's out here on this tornado warning we have in effect. Again, that's going to be for Roger Mills County. And Marty Logan, you're closing in fast, looking off to your west, northwest at the circulation. And Marty, I'll tell you what, give me an update. Give me an update on that, Marty Logan, as you close in on the area of circulation on that tornado warning now for Roger Mills County.
We're just coming into Hammond, and what we've got in our picture right now is actually the storm that is off to the northeast of Hammond. We're underneath the back edge of it, and we can see rain-free bays straight west, but our kicker here, which is a good one, we're 57 degrees. So we keep getting cooler the farther north we go. That's not conducive to the tornadoes, so hopefully this thing is just going to die out on us, but we're going to stay with it.
Yeah, absolutely, Marty, and that's what it looks like, folks. It's kind of grungy, and again, this has the tornado warning on it. You're looking at it live right here on News 9. This is the one that has the tornado warning on it, low bases. That's another thing we have going for us or against us today, is that the temperatures are not crazy warm. So the closer your temperature and your dew point temperatures are, the closer those numbers are together, the lower the base of the clouds are going to be, and it's easier for tornadoes to develop in that type of environment. It's just one of the other pieces of the puzzle, okay? But we have low bases, which will just favor tornado development today, all right? So let's leave Marty's shot. Let's go back to Lynx 3. Anything new from either one of you?
No,
Anything?
at the moment, I've got this out of TLX. Frederick's going through some weird modes right now. So out of TLX, you can see the elevated circulation, but I don't see anything too tight at the surface.
Yeah, no, right. It's hit the boundary. And this is what we were talking about. If you were joining us 20 minutes ago, we're talking about it's cold up here. It's in the 50s. Still in the 50s on Mesonet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Butler's 57, Cheyenne's 53.
Okay, Butler is 57. Butler is 57 degrees. I mean, that is chilly.
But
right?
Bessie is 80.
80. That's just to the south, okay? Bessie obviously is in the game, right? Bessie's in the south. Bessie's down here. But Butler over to Strong City, they're in the 50s. And what's that going to give you? Again, it's what I was talking about. That storm would have a hard time producing a tornado because it's north of the boundary. But the hook part, the inflow part, is right on the boundary. But once it lifts north of the boundary, it's going to really lose that tornado threat. It's going to be a wind and hail threat. But we need to get these storms to go north of the boundary. That doesn't fix the other problems that we're all going to have for the rest of us, but it's good. We need these to stay in that cooler air. Now, the problem is that later today, if we see some sunshine and we start to warm things up and the winds become more easterly, that boundary can be a player for severe weather, including tornadoes. But right now, it's not. It's helping us. The boundary is helping us right now. It's south of the boundary where we're going to have problems. Okay, let's go to Alan Brosey's shot. And I'll tell you what, let's check in with Alan here. And Alan, I'm looking at a developing thunderstorm in your shot down near Hobart. Tell me what direction you're looking right there. Tell me what direction we're looking. And again, you are at Hobart currently. Go ahead, Alan Brosey, give me an update.
That's correct. We're on Highway 9 here in Hobart, and we're looking to our east, David. And this storm is going up very, very rapidly. It's very crisp. Has no intent of going anywhere, slowly. It's all in the mail. Looks like it's moving northeast and, like I said, growing in size. So we're going to keep an eye on it for you, David. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Great job there, Alan. Alan's going to have a long day. He's already had a long day. All of our trackers, we're going to be here all day into the night, and so it's a long haul. Okay. Look at this going up, though, folks. That is explosive development of a thunderstorm. Okay. He's going through Hobart right now, and that is going up hard and fast. You can see the cauliflower look to it. It's clean. It's very crisp. That's the top of the updraft right there. This is nearly a thunderstorm. It's close. Big, strong updraft going vertically in the atmosphere. Atmosphere is very unstable, and this will become a supercell. That is what a supercell looks like when it is developing, okay? So that's what we're talking about. And let's go back to Link 3. Let me show you how many storms we have. These are all tiny, not all of them, some of them, but they're all little supercells, and then we have the bigger supercells up north. Look at what's going on in the Texas Panhandle. Look at these storms in here. There's one there. There's one there. There's one. There's one. And see how they're kind of stretched out? They look kind of weird. They don't look like a big blob. They're kind of elongated. That's because they have what we call cyclonic shear, or they're spinning. Okay, they're going up spinning. It's not like some storms will go up and start to spin slow, and then they'll gradually get faster and faster and faster. These are going up torqued. These are going up spinning, okay? And that's a problem. They go up spinning, and tornado genesis can often happen quickly sometimes. We got to watch out for that for what we call short fuse tornadoes. They go up hard and fast. And in a day like today, a storm that looks like that could produce a tornado. It might not be this big Mondo storm on radar where we're going, oh, look at the size of that. It's got to be on the ground. No. Today can be one of those days where storms can produce tornadoes that are smaller, okay? Because we have so much spin going on in the atmosphere. Let's go back up top. Let's go to Jim Gardner, and let's zoom in here. And we'll go back to Jim, and let me see what it looks like there. There's Jim's shot. Okay, Jim, your storm now. Bear with me, Jim. Look to your west. The hook now is just west of you, about 4 miles. 4 miles west of you. That's what we're looking at. Let's go to the one and only Jim Gardner. Jim, there's the rain-free base. That storm continues to get stronger. On Next Gen Live, all of our tools, that storm is getting slowly stronger. Give us an update on what it looks like from the air. Go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. We're just west of Union City, shooting back to the west and northwest. We're in a really good spot on this storm, David, and it is really going up rapidly, man. And I mean, it is hauling. So again, we're going to have a lot of fast-moving thunderstorms that can really spin up a tornado really fast here. Like you said earlier, what you're talking about, the bases are very low to the ground. So if there is a spin up, it's going to be really fast, touch down really quick. But we're in a really good spot here. The storm keeps building. We're starting to get cloud-to-ground lightning out of this, David. So we'll keep you updated. Jim Garforn live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
Okay, Jim, that is the beginning of it right there. This is the rain-free base. This is Canadian County. And Jim Gardner, it looks like there might be a little bit of a tag, or I can't tell you, maybe something, a little bit of a lowering back here in the southern side of that. But Jim is right there, folks. There's the lightning. Okay, that's what that storm looks like from a few thousand feet up from Jim. Let's now go to Lynx 3, and then we're going to back out here. Let's go to Lynx 3 control room. Here's that supercell. Jim's right there. Val's coming in from the north. Justin, is Valcaster ready? Okay, let's go to Valcaster. He's on the north side.
Okay.
He's coming in from the north. He's on I-40. And Val, we found you. There it is. Storm to your south. The hook is getting more pronounced. It's not a very big storm, Valcaster, but it is getting stronger and it is severe. And the hook is going to go right over the El Reno airport. And the hook is going to go on or just west of El Reno. Actually, it's going to go right over your hood in about 10 minutes. And Val, the storms are moving north at 50 miles per hour. Give me an update.
Oh, 50 miles an hour. Okay, David, we are on the west side. The shot that you're seeing right there is the base. Where the base has just now become visible to us, and it looks like to me it's starting to. I can't tell to see if there's a lowering yet on it, but one thing I can see is the base looks like it's becoming more solid looking, if you know what I mean, back down to the south. So another thing too, David, we're noticing is that the southeast winds, the ambient southeast winds out here are really picking up and really increasing. It's getting warmer and more humid by the minute. So, and that's not really a good sign at all, David. Back to you.
No, Val, it's not. And we all know what's happening here. The warm, moist, very unstable air is coming into Oklahoma from the south. And that is exactly what we don't want happening, right? And but it is. It's already here. The instability is already over Oklahoma City. It's already in place. Now, is there a chance, that Oklahoma City has a tornado today? Yes, absolutely. There might be one or two storms that give us problems here this afternoon. But, again, it's chaos, and it's chaotic where these storms are developing. There's no real boundary right now in Oklahoma City or western or southwestern Oklahoma that is screaming where the tornadoes are. The dry line is in the panhandle. It's way out there. And we have the warm front to deal with, but everything along and north of that is up into cool air. So it's going to be this random, just kind of a chaos of thunderstorms developing in the warm air. And, again, that would include Oklahoma City. Okay, let's go back to Lynx 3. Then we're going to kind of give you the big view here. Storm is severe now coming into El Reno. El Reno downtown is right here. Val is right there. Jim Gardner is there looking off to the north. We've got Bobby Payne out west. So this thing is, again, lifting from the south, almost due north now, pardon me, at about 50 miles per hour. So it is really, really moving currently as it moves from the south to the north. Hail coming into El Reno right now. This is going to be a nickel and dime size hail. Anything larger than that?
Haven't seen any reports
Lacey?
of anything larger than that, no.
Okay.
And then our hail detector is pretty much saying the same thing. Quarters would be the largest.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, quarters right now would be the largest hail, and that's good. Some days it's weird. On days that you have crazy instability, you think you would get tennis balls and softball size hail. Some days you don't. May 3rd, 1999, for instance. Go back and look at some of the big days. Some of those days we did have some big hail, but some of those days we didn't. We just had big tornadoes, and the hail sizes were not off the charts. So every event is different. Every severe weather outbreak event is a thumbprint. It has its own. They all have similar characteristics. We can compare them from one event to the past event to that past event, but they all look a little bit different. And they all just kind of evolve a little bit differently into the afternoon or into the evening or whatever. Okay, so again, Marty's out here checking out this. That tornado threat continues to drop in that cell. Rotation, though, is still there. Mm-hmm. It's still there just north of Marty. Let's go back to Marty Logan and get an update from him. And I know what he's thinking about here. Let's go back to Marty and check him. Marty, that rotation is still there. It's still pretty strong now, just west of Morewood, just to your north. What are you looking at? What are you seeing with that area of spin? But it's getting into that cooler air. Give me an update.
Okay, we're just fixing to turn and look at some more of this storm. We're 56 degrees, but there is still some busy clouds just off to our west. We're going to turn, and while we're on air right now, you may be able to see what we're looking at. That's just going to be to the west of us right now. Well, here we got somebody with emergency lights, probably been out watching the storm. So, yeah, fire department. So we're still looking up that way. Still haven't seen anything on the ground. Back to you, David.
All right, great job, Marty and Deb. Stay with it here, and this is what we're dealing with. And there's the bottom of the line. And again, but temperatures here where Marty is, again, they're in the 50s. So the chance of a tornado is low with this. I know it has a tornado warning on it, but it's moved into the cooler air. It's moved into its supply, to its source. It's in the 50s. Marty is in Thomas and Fay. What are the temperatures right there? What's closest by?
Cheyenne was at 53.
Cheyenne at 53. Okay,
Yep.
What about Clinton?
Clinton about
80?
80, yeah.
80 in Clinton?
Yep.
So, okay, so we're right on the line. Let's go back to Lynx 3, and let me show you what I'm talking about. It's 80 degrees right now in Clinton, okay? And you get up here a little farther north, you get up into Dewey County, and temperatures up here in the 50s. So once these storms move north into this boundary, they're going to drop. Temperatures are going to obviously stay cool, but the threat of that tornado is going to drop just because they're going to have trouble producing a tornado in 50-degree air. It's just too cool, and that's a great problem.
Yeah, it was 57 where Marty is.
57
Yeah,
temperature?
that's what his temperature on his truck.
Okay, I meant to ask him. Okay, thank you, Justin. Yeah, I mean, on a day like today, this isn't like a true, like an Iowa warm front, okay? It's a little bit different deal here today. But either way, it's still spinning, and we still need to watch it, okay? Marty's right there. Justin, let's make sure we're good on that, okay? Well, let's just hang on a second. Hang on just a second here, okay? That's going to go up towards Webb and Leedy and Morewood. Let's do a storm track on that. Once again, the tornado warning continues. Still rotating, and then we're going to come back to the metro.
Here, Cass, I can get it.
We'll do a storm track, and we can get back to that, guys.
Here.
We can get back to it. All right, I hear Val. Let's go to Val Castor. Let's go to Val Castor. He has Scud developing.
Keep it on, Doc. He's coming to us.
Let's go to Val. And Val, your shot, at least at this point, is locked up on you. There it is. Okay, what do you think? Can you see the updraft from there? Can you see the updraft? And tell me what you think on the underneath it. Do we have Scud developing? Is it turning? Is it spinning? Is it getting faster? Or are we just kind of holding our own right now? Give me an update.
Okay, David, what we're looking at right here, we cannot see the updraft. We can see the updraft base pretty well to our south, and we are going through El Reno right now, so you're going to get blocked out by some houses and trees and stuff like that. But there is Scud developing now. We just noticed that. It's just starting to happen. I don't know if it's really in the shot or not, but there is Scud starting to develop beneath the base of that storm. And so that's the tornado sirens are sounding in El Reno right now. We're in town. I don't know if you can hear that or not. The tornado sirens are going off in El Reno.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
All
but
right,
I believe
so
you.
Yeah, they are. They're sounding the sirens in El Reno. There is Scud developing beneath the base of this storm.
Okay.
We're going to turn north in about 3 minutes. We're going to give you a wide open shot, David.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Get open. Get out of El Reno, and let's see what this thing looks like. Let's go to Jim Gardner. That's a problem. Let's go to Jim Gardner, folks. Let's take Jim's shot. Let's go up top. And this is what Val is talking about. We have Scud now developing on the southern end of that. And Jim Gardner, the hook is going to be just to your northwest. Just to your northwest, Val. Excuse me, Jim Gardner. I'm looking at Val, and I'm talking to Jim. That circulation is going to be, Jim, it's going to be northwest of the airport, almost to I-40. It's almost on I-40 where the circulation is. And there it is, Jim. You can clearly see the big rain-free base, broad base right now. That is the mesocyclone. You're right over the airport. It's just northwest of the airport, about 3 miles. Give me an update. Go ahead, Jim Gardner.
That's right. That's right, David. You can see the airport in the foreground there. We were just on the east side shooting back, and just like Val said, it's starting to get a lot of Scud hanging here as we pan back. Now we're going to pan to the right just a little bit, and you'll see I-40 there. If we pop up street scope and take it out really quick, you can see I-40 right there. You can see all that line right there, and then the rain-free base back here, David, and it keeps trying to do something just on the west side of the airport here. But again, we're watching it very closely. We have we have heavy rain in front of this, but again, you're looking at a classic setup here that could at any time drop a small tornado. So we're in a good position, David. We'll keep tracking it. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9. Back to you. All
right, great job there, Jim. And this is the rain-free base right here. This is where the mesocyclone is. That's the left side. This is Canadian County right here. We just went over the airport. It's just right behind Jim. And this is going to be looking up towards Lake El Reno, which I think is right there. That's Lake El Reno, if I'm not mistaken. Could be, but I think I'm right. And this is the rain-free base. We have to watch this very, very carefully. Let's go to link 3. What does this look like on radar? It looks like this. There's our problem. Shear rate now up into the moderate category. It continues to get higher. The spin continues to get stronger. It is now 1, 2, 3 miles northwest of Jim Gardner. Okay, get your bearings straight. This is El Reno. This is Canadian County. All right, Val Castor is there. This is downtown El Reno. The sirens are blowing in El Reno, and they should be.
It's Airport Road and I-40.
Airport Road and I-40. That's where it is, okay? It's not on the ground. It's not on the ground. I'm looking at Jim's shot. Val Castor's there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, we got problems. Okay. Yep. We've got problems. Okay. What does Val have? What does Val have? I hear Val talking.
Cassie has a storm track for you because this thing is racing to the north.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a storm track. Let's go to links 4. Go to links 4. Then we'll talk about the other storms here. We're about ready to issue our own tornado warning for this. This would be a News 9 tornado warning. News 9 tornado warning for Canadian County. News 9 tornado warning for Canadian County. You folks in El Reno, you got to go now. You got to go to your safe spot. Go now. I know they're blowing the sirens in El Reno, and I really, really love the fact that they were blowing them well before we had the tornado warning out. Good job, El Reno. That's how you do it. That's how you protect your people, and that's how you save lives. Blow the sirens early. There's many ways to get information out to people and to get people to wake up and pay attention. Okay, tornado warning now for Canadian County. News 9, tornado warning for Canadian County. There's the hook. Let's go back to Val Castor. Let's go back to Val Castor and get an update from Val. And Val, tornado warning now for Canadian County for your storm. There's the rain-free base. What's the scud look like to you? What's the base look like to you looking back to your southwest? I know you're headed northbound. Give me an update. And Val, it's moving north at 50. Don't slow down. I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, so David, it's getting better organized all the time here. I know it's got rotation up above. I know the whole updraft is rotating. It's trying to get organized closer to the surface. It hasn't done so yet, but I think this is the type of storm, David, it could spin a tornado down very, very quickly without notice, especially as fast as this thing's trying to get organized. It's like it's the whole thing is rotating. We'll just say that. And it also is trying to develop. I know you can't really see it in the shot, but there's scud between us and the far base that you're seeing there developing. So every now and then we see a scud tag hanging down from the base. All that just goes to show that it's getting stronger. We've got pretty strong southeast winds where we're at, and we're going to have to stay up with it, David. Back to you.
Absolutely, Val. Don't slow down. I'm looking at your shot. I'm looking at Jim Gardner's shot. And no doubt about it, Val, it looks like you said, I see that scud developing, and I might actually see rotation in Jim's shot. Val is on the north side of El Reno. He's up near Lucky Star Casino. He's at the Lucky Star Casino looking back to the southwest. Okay, let's go to Links 3. Let's look at the supercell. Let's look at the rotating thunderstorm. And look at the scud here. Okay, wow, yeah, here we go. Things are really beginning to tighten up. Let's go to Links 3, control room. Here's the hook. The hail sizes are getting bigger. This is going to be quarter. This is going to be golf ball size hail. Okay, Lucky Star Casino. If you're at the Lucky Star Casino, you need to ask them where you need to go. If I'm at the Lucky Star Casino, I'm not going to get in my car and flee, right? I'm not going to drive south. I'm not going to drive north. What am I going to do? You got to find a safe spot if you're at the Lucky Star Casino, and you got to go there right now. You can't leave. You don't have time. It's moving at 50+ miles per hour. This will overrun you if it begins to produce a tornado. Okay, so here's the hook. Okay, it's a small, kind of a stretched out storm. These storms look a little different right now, but this is what's going on. There's El Reno. Let's go to Jim Gardner. Let's take his shot. There's the hook. Tornado warning now will continue for Canadian County from El Reno west and north. Tornado warning. And Jim Gardner, there it is. That area just continues to drop in the middle, Jim. It's getting lower and lower. Velocity data is getting stronger and stronger. Jim Gardner, give us an update.
Well, that's right, David. You can see the rail yard right there. That's just north of El Reno there. I see Lucky Star where you're talking about. This is definitely trying to get its act together, David, and it is hauling. Like you said, it's moving at 50 miles an hour. We're just trying to cruise across here, man, and stay up with this thing, but it is really starting to organize right here, David. It's getting lower to the ground. Like I said, I can see Lucky Star. It looks like it's going to pass just almost right over Lucky Star from our position. But again, you can see this. It is rotating, but it's just starting to tighten up, David. It's trying to get its act together here. And we're in a really good spot. But like you, good advice, because this thing is really moving across the ground. So you can't outrun it. You need to go find a safe space and get in it because you're not going to outrun this one. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9. Back to you.
No, Jim, we're not. And this is not a day, folks, where you can wait till the tornado warning is coming down your street and think you're going to get in your car and get out of the way of this thing. You don't ever do that. You don't ever leave your home when this thing is bearing down on you, right? You just got to go to your safe spot, lowest level, center part of the house, lowest level. We say all the time, you got to get in, you got to get down. All right, that means go to that center part of the house, lowest level, interior bathroom, interior closet. If you have a 2-story house, you got to get out the second floor. The second floor is first to go. All right, the third floor, that's first to go. Okay, so again, lowest level, center part of the house. Okay, if you're home by yourself, if you're a child home by yourself, you turn the TV up and go to the bathroom, go to that safe spot that you and your parents have hopefully talked about, or your guardians. You got to know where to go. You got to get to that center part of the house. If you're someone that's underage, a young person, a young child, go to the center part of the house, lowest level, interior closet, interior bathroom. Okay, that's where you have to go, and you've got to go now. This is for Canadian County. This is just the county just west of Oklahoma City. This is not Oklahoma City, okay? This is Canadian County. There's a shot from Jim. Okay, and wow, this would not take much. Let's go back to Links 3, look at shear rate, and this is Lucky Star Casino. It's right coming in behind Val. All right,
in between Britton and Darlington Road.
Britton and Darlington Road.
1.5 miles west of 81.
Yep. Would you say mile and a half?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's one. We got mile and a half west of 181, or excuse me, Highway 81. Folks, it's going to the casino. It's going to go on or just west of the casino. If I'm in the Lucky Star Casino, I'm doing whatever it is that they're telling me to do to get in a safe spot. This has been a concern of ours in Oklahoma. Again, talking about it being in a casino and having a safe spot. You make sure you have to have a safe spot in those casinos, okay? It's all good, but you got to find out where that is. Okay, now just west of the casino, I'm looking at Val shot. Tornado warning. It's going right up Highway 81. And I want to back out of this just a bit. It is now cleared, obviously, El Reno. You folks in El Reno, you're in the clear from this. This is north of you. It's going to Okarche. It's going to Okarche. It might go on or just east of Okarche, but it won't miss you by much. A lot of folks live out here now. 15 years ago, this was a lot of farmland. Not anymore. A lot of homes out here, a lot of neighborhoods out here. This whole area has just exploded with people. And for good reason. It's a beautiful place to live. But in days like this, we got to pay attention. Okay, here comes the hook. There's the hook right there. And tornado warning continues for, this is going to be for northern Canadian County. Folks, it's going to Kingfisher County. It's going to go on. The tornado is going to go pretty close to Kingfisher. All right, Kingfisher is still warm. Kingfisher is still in the warm air. Still plenty of fuel for that. Okay, let's back out just a second here. Let's talk about the other parts of the state. We'll back out. Now, there's nothing right now headed for Oklahoma City. Okay, we have the one severe storm out here. That tornado warning has expired, right?
I think they're letting it go until it expires,
okay.
yes.
But it's nothing like what it was.
Circulation has, yeah.
Yeah, this is all wind and hail in here right now. If this comes down south of the boundary and begins to kind of poke a turtle head out here, you know what I'm saying? We might have some problems right in here. But as long as this can stay north of the boundary, we're going to keep this mainly a wind and hail threat. That's a problem, all right? But it's a bigger problem if this gets south of the boundary. Do you have Mesonet back up?
Not yet.
Maybe when you do, let's look at it and maybe draw, just for fun, draw the boundary on here.
Okay, over here, you might be able to see it really quickly.
Okay.
Our data will still be coming in.
Okay, there we go. This is that boundary I'm talking about. Kingfisher, you're at 70. That's your dew point. 70 degrees. That is fuel, and that's more than enough fuel for a tornado. Once you get up into Dewey County, see how we dew points drop in the 40s and 50s? That's low. That's not good for tornadoes, right? That's a good problem to have. But the boundary is trying to lift back north. But if storms continue to develop, the boundary will hang where it is. And it'll keep you folks in northern Oklahoma mainly into wind and hail threat. Okay, but anything along this red line in south, we are under the gun this afternoon, through this evening and tonight. Look at all the moisture here, folks. 75 dew point in Hilton. That's absurd, right? Your high-end severe weather days, you have dew points in the mid-70s. That's the problem. That's a problem. And all this is affecting to the northwest. All this is being ripped and pulled in to the northwest. It's just more fuel. It's just more fuel. Okay, let's go back to Links 3, and here we go. Here's our problem. We've got supercells in southwestern Oklahoma, and we've got Alan Brosey coming in hard and fast from the east. And Alan is on that. Who's coming in from the northeast here, Justin? Is that Marty? Okay, how is he? He's moving, right? Yes. Okay, look at all these supercells out here. Okay, lots of supercells going on. We've got the one storm. Let's take a quick shot of this going into western Oklahoma now. This is Cheyenne, and this is in the warm air. This is why this is a problem. This is a hook, and that storm is severe, and it's got a mesocyclone in it, okay? It's spinning. It's right over Sweetwater.
Ping pong balls west of Sweetwater.
Ping pong balls.
Yes.
Yeah, ping pong, ball-size hail in Sweetwater and west of town. All right, that's going to Dempsey, that's going to Grimes, that's going to Cheyenne. You folks in Cheyenne are going to have a long day. You're going to have a long day. Okay, that's coming in from the southwest. See the mesocyclone? It's right over Sweetwater. It's turning, it's churning, it's spinning, and it's in the warm air. The front is to the north. The cool air is here. This is in the warm air. That's why this thing is still doing what it's doing. When it hits the cold air, which is about Cheyenne, it will begin to weaken some. But the problem is between now and then. But the good thing, they're moving so fast that it will be in the cooler air a lot sooner than later. But that could produce a tornado at any time. As a matter of fact, that hook is getting stronger. Okay, small storm near Altus, not doing too much right now. A couple of smaller showers here near Carnegie. We have to watch these honestly, minute by minute. If you can see the team of people we have in here right now, honestly, it looks like a rock concert. If you're watching what's going on with all these individual showers and storms and how they're developing, because each one of these has to be watched closely because they can change so fast. A couple showers down near Moore Norman. Vaughn is over here in Shawnee, and Vaughn coming into the East Metro. Okay, a couple showers there. So right now there's nothing threatening heading for Oklahoma City. Okay, let's come back to the Metro and take a look at it here, and we'll go back to Val. There's the hook. Let me see Jim's shot. It's going through the windmill farm, the wind turbine farm.
David, when you're ready, I have a track on links 4.
Okay, let's take a look now. Let's do a storm track. Before we do that, let's stay with links 3 here. Look at the shear rate. It might have weakened slightly, but it's still intense, right? It's right now north of the Lucky Star Casino. Tornado warning. It's going to go, like we said, just east of Okarche. It's going up 81. It's going to go north and east of Okarche, and then from there it's going to go up. It's going to go east of Kingfisher. It will go east of Kingfisher. Okay, let's take a look at what this looks like from the air. Let's go back to Jim Gardner and get an update from Jim. He's right there. It's right out his front shield. Bob Mills, Sky News 9. And Jim, no tornado on the ground. It continues to rotate. Rotation, again, strong, but nothing out of control. Give us an update, Jim, on what you've seen here in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. It's kind of fluctuated a little bit. There's little tags hanging down. We thought for a couple of minutes there we had something happening, but it's still trying to get its act together. It's kind of lined out a little more than what it was earlier, David, but again, it's very low to the ground. It's still very active, and like I said, it is still moving across the ground at a really good clip here, David. But again, right now we're starting to get a lot of heavy rain and lightning in front of this, and we're starting to get some heavy rain right behind this. We go pan to our left just a little bit, so no, left, Rich. And so that was the right side. So as you go left here, David, where we're sitting now, you see the heavy rain right behind it there that's kind of undercutting it right now. But again, we're in a very good spot. Keep you updated. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
All right, great job there, Jim. No one better in the air than Jim Gardner, folks. He has done this so many times. You got to go back to May 3rd of 1999, and whatever happens today, Jim is the man in the air. I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing. He's calm, cool, and collect. He can look at these things. He describes them. And we have our street scope technology. We can track the tornado with that on the ground as it's moving along, and that's exactly what we'll do if that does occur, right? And we're not hoping for any tornadoes today. We don't want any. We'll take the storms, but again, today, the tornado watch is out. The conditions are favorable to get tornadoes, and our concern is that we get a couple of strong and or violent tornadoes, right? So if you're home this afternoon and you're watching us, just relax, sit back, and just, make sure you know where your family is and your friends are, and just don't unplug, okay? This is not a day to just unplug for the afternoon and into this evening, okay? Because things can catch you off guard. Okay, let's go back to the ground here. Let's go to Val Castor, get an update from Val. And again, Jim is scanning the line there. And Val, it's still rotating. And it's the Mesocyclone is going to be just to your southeast, Val. Just to your east-southeast is the Mesocyclone. And that's the area of spin. Give me an update on what you think, what you see right now as you look back at it. I know it's messy to see. It's messy to see through. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right, David. Fortunately, it's not a very wide core, but we can still see the base somewhat from where we're at. Just a few seconds ago, it looked like the base, to me, was getting stronger and more organized. Just about 2 or 3 minutes ago, before we went into the core, the base was the most organized I'd seen it all day. So it looks like to me that the storm is still in the organizing stages, David. Looks like to me it's trying to get organized just to our southeast. So we're going to go over here to Okarche, and we've got an east road. We're going to take an east road and get right under it again, and they keep going north with it. Back to you.
Okay. All right. Great job there, Val and Amy Castor. What was that? Go ahead, Matt. What were you saying? Okay. Let's go to links 3. Look at shear rate. It kind of has the S shape on it. That's what we look for. It starts out like this. It does like that. That is turning. And then we have the maximum at this point right here. Okay, and that's going to be southeast of Okarche, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. And it's going to be 3 miles northwest of Jim Gardner. There's his GPS. Area of spin now, crossing Northwest Highway.
And Radio Road.
And Radio Road right now. That's where it is, crossing Northwest Expressway and Radio Road. Okay, so tornado warning continues for northern Canadian County coming into Kingfisher County. Let's go back to reflectivity. We'll back out. Again, nothing right now headed towards Oklahoma City. Nothing right now headed towards Oklahoma City. Let's back out a little bit more, kind of give you the big overview just to make everybody kind of calm down here. More, Norman. Okay, I want to point out there's nothing coming your way right now. All right, now the data that we look at many, many pieces of data that we look at to forecast what's going to happen and such. Okay, well, here's the deal. The data breaks out other individual supercells this afternoon. Lacey's looking at it right now. And what it does is the latest data continues to break out these individual storms in random places to the south of the metro. Is that what it does? Yeah,
and the very latest run tries to have them start out discrete or isolated like that, but then they actually kind of congeal into a big line, looking more and more like other data sets we were seeing earlier. And that rolls in here about 7 o'clock. So it starts out west, everything out west kind of forms into a big, powerful line.
So it's not as
discrete at all.
Okay.
That would be excellent.
That would be amazing. So some of the new data, that's what Lacey and I were just talking about here, is at least for now, listen, the tornado threat is still high in any storm, but some of the new data is basically saying that we have some supercells by themselves, individual storms, and then we start to line things out. If we can line things out, that will lower that tornado threat, but nobody knows how this is going to end, right? But that's a good thing. That would be a better thing, okay? Maybe not, that would be a better thing, and we don't want storms that are alone or by themselves. Okay, let's go back into western Oklahoma here, and let's check in with Bobby Payne and get an update from Bobby. And let's take Bobby's shot. What's he looking at right now? Let's go to Bobby Payne here and get an update. And Bobby, you've got some scud developing. Give me an update on that storm now that you're looking at there. Bobby's north of Clinton, looking off to his west and off to his northwest. Bobby, go ahead.
David, we are seeing something really odd here because we're actually pointing back to the east, looking to the southeast, and what we're looking at is where the boundary of the cold and warm air meets. And we're seeing some scud clouds very low to the ground, and it actually was like a debris cloud. There's no storm there, but we can definitely see some very strong rotation right there in our shot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's what I was wondering. I saw your shot up, and it looked like it was at least slowly spinning. So, yeah, Bobby, it sure is on the left side. You see that, right? I know you see it. On the left side, that whole area, it looks like it's trying to come around in front of you from left to right.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very localized area. It's not broad. It's very tight, and it really looked like it was a debris cloud for a while.
Okay. Well, I saw
I believe it was just scud clouds, right. And this cloud deck is very, very low here along the boundary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's almost like you can actually just reach up and almost touch the clouds in some places.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, Bobby, just when I look at little tags hanging down out of your shot, I mean, you can clearly see a little tag just went from left to right there above those trees. And then back to the left here, you can track little pieces of what we call scud. It's just condensate that's trying to make its way back to the west. So, yeah, Bobby, yeah, no doubt about it. He has rotation with that. Okay, let's go to Lynx 3, and let me show you the storm that Bobby's on. And it's this storm right here. And it's not very big. It's not very big, but it is still in the warm air. Not by much, but it's still in the warm air. And, folks, we'll say it again, we really need these things to line out. If they were to line out and produce more of a line of thunderstorms, we're still going to have a tornado threat, but it sure beats the alternative, and that would be to have a bunch of supercells out ahead of this. If this turns into one main line and then not much happens out ahead of the main line, that would really, really be a good thing for us today, all right? But that is certainly not locked in. No, it's not locked in. That's what we're hoping for, okay? All right, let's go back to
the Enid storm severe.
All right, let's go back to Enid and talk about it. Now, it's well into the cool air, so this is going to be a wind and hail threat. This is going to be some quarter. Might have a little golf ball size hail. Flooding is going to be a problem developing in northern Oklahoma. You've had too much rain up here as of late. Lakes, rivers, streams, it's all full of water. The ground is saturated. It won't take much to give us some problems. up north. But this is well behind the boundary. What are the temperatures in Enid right now, close by?
Let me look. Give me just a second. Mesonet side's completely down.
Okay. All the storm trackers are
everybody's checking it, yeah.
crashing it.
It is...
I hear Val talking.
58.
Yeah. 58. Okay. So, again, this is going to be a wind and hail threat for Enid. See, folks, in Enid, severe storm.
Look at that presentation right there. Do you see that?
Which one?
North of Enid?
Yeah, and also down to the south, too.
Yeah.
Look at that, and look at that.
It's amazing. There are hooks on that in 58-degree air.
Yeah, these are all, there's rotation in, several of these. And that's okay, but it's in the 50s up here. It would really have to do something really nutty to get a tornado. But, you got to watch it. All right, let's go to shear rate. Any of this crazy? Yeah. Well, it was a little bit stronger when they first went up, and now they're kind of turning into a little mess, which is a good thing. We like it when it gets messy. All right, hail sizes, nickel and dime, quarter size hail now, northwest of Enid, right here with that, near Carrier. Okay, that's going to Pond Creek. Let's back out, check out northern Oklahoma one more time, and then we'll come back south. Renfro, Medford, lots of rain, too much rain. You're going to get some flooding out of this, and this will cause major flooding this afternoon and into this evening. Okay? This is going to cause...
Shear rate in the metro is coming up quite a bit from that Canadian County storm.
Let's do it. Let's go back. Let's go back to it. And, hey, let's go back to Val. What do I see in Val's shot? Here it is right here. Tornado warning now. It does continue going into Kingfisher County. Let's go back to Val. Let's take his shot. Val, how's the rotation on radar? Looks like it's getting a little bit stronger.
It is. It's increasing, David. Rotation is increasing. The base is a lot more well-formed than it was, David. The base looks a whole lot stronger than it did before. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, Val, let me ask you a question. Here in the last few minutes, it looks like it's tightened up on our end. Shear rate has increased. It's right on the Kingfisher Canadian County line. That's where you are. It's right over his head. Do you see anything on the ground?
Jim is saying there it is. I don't know.
We don't see nothing on the ground,
let's
David.
go to okay. Val, we might have it trying to form. Let's go to Val. Let's go to Jim Gardner. Let's go to Jim Gardner. And Jim, there's a condensate. Is it on the ground? Do we have a tornado on the ground? What do you think? It's pretty close to the wind turbines there. Go ahead.
Well, that's right, David. It spun up really fast. Rich picked it up. He said it was on the ground. I didn't see it, but man, it was quick. It spun up really fast, came down, and it came back up, and then all of a sudden it spun up again and came down the ground again, David. So again, let's see. You can see if we have street scope, you can see we're at Alfalfa Road at 234 northeast there, and Evans Road. You see Radio Road. So right in there, but this thing was really fast when it spun up, David. That's what we've been talking about all afternoon, is that this storm, the way it is, and as fast as it's moving, if this happens, it's going to happen very quick. Now, the good thing is that it didn't last very long, but it looks like there's another one that's getting ready to whip up here just any minute, David, just right out my door. So, again, this stuff is happening very fast. It's spinning up very tight, and I agree with Val. I think this thing is starting to really get its act together here. And so anyway, like I said, if street scope's up, we're at West 248th Street and North 2870 Road is right now is where they're setting, and right in the middle of this windmill farm, David. So again, we're in a really good spot, but this stuff is really popping off really fast and touching down. Like I said, Rick said that one did touch down, but you can see right there, he's in tight where you start to see the rotation right now, David, starting to tighten up. So again, this is not something to play with. At any moment, this, luckily it's just really small ones, but at any moment, this could really drop a big tornado, David. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9, back to you.
Okay, Jim, we're going to stay with your shot here. This looks like this might be a developing tornado. This is going to be now in southern Kingfisher County. This is going to be southern Kingfisher County. This is going to be the developing tornado. Right. The tornado warning continues. The developing tornado continues for southern Kingfisher County. This is going to be north and east of Okarche. And, man, it looks like it's really, really trying.
This is East 880 Road and North 2880 Road are the county roads in Kingfisher County.
Yeah, East 880 Road is right here, I presume, right?
Yes.
Or is that 870?
That should be 880.
Okay, 880. Farm Road, 880. And then what's the north-south? Or
2880.
Okay. All right. So, and how far east of 81 is this? Just 3 or 4 miles, right? 4 miles.
3, 4. Yeah, about 4.5 miles east of 81.
Okay. So, this is the area of spin. You can see the condensate. Look at the motion here. Look how fast. See that? That's how things happen. See how fast this is moving? Jim's not moving. He's stationary. See the motion of that? See, I'm looking on the ground like you are, folks at home. You're watching this live right here on News 9. I'm watching it on the ground. I'm looking for it on the ground.
Val has a funnel.
Let's go to Val. Let's go to Val Caster. Let's go to Val Caster. Take Val. Go ahead, Val. Tornado, go ahead.
All right, we got a funnel right behind us. It's really lowered fast. We had a quick funnel form right directly behind us. Okay, I'm turning around here. Okay, you see the dark area right there. That's the rotation right there. The funnel quickly formed. I see Jim in the background, by the way. It's right moving through the wind farms. It's just south of the wind farms, basically. We went right under the rotation. David, we're looking straight southeast. A quick funnel. The funnel lifted quick, but you see the lowering is still there, right where the funnel was. And David, that's right where it's rotating, right exactly in that one spot. Now, I'm going to turn around. There's a car coming.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there it is. It's right behind the wind field there, right behind the big one up front.
Right behind the wind turbine. We're going to watch it for a second, then we got to keep moving here.
Yeah.
But that's where it's rotating. This is the lowest of the ground. We've seen it. I said it was getting organized. David, it's forming a funnel again. The rotation is increasing.
Okay.
We're watching it. I would say that it's very possible this could put down a tornado at any time.
Absolutely, Val. Absolutely.
And it's going to be near Banner Road. I'm going to say it's very close to Banner Road, possibly just a slight bit west of Banner Road.
Yeah, that is Banner Road.
The east-west road is going to be 880.
Yep.
Banner Road and 880.
Yep. Okay. All right, Val. Yes.
Now.
Yeah. No. It's definitely turning. If it goes to the ground, holler. Let's go back to Lynx 3. Let's go back to radar. I want to point out this is not in Oklahoma City proper. This is a Canadian county now going into Kingfisher County.
There's that area he's talking about.
Again, yeah, right here. Right here. So there it is. There's the area of spin. And again, right here. Here's the hook. Right. He's right here looking right at it. And Jim Gardner has it. Wow, let's go to Jim shot. Let's go to Jim shot. Take Jim shot. Control room. Let's take it. Go to Jim. Jim Gardner, is it on the ground? Give me an update. What do you think? It's close. It's close. It's a tree hugger.
It's close, David. It's really, really close. If it's not on the ground, then I'm pretty low level here. I'm almost just right at the top of the. Rich is telling me that he thinks it's. He said he could see the tree starting to twist at the bottom there. But again, right now, it looks like a Banner Road. I'm just on the east side of Banner Road, shooting back to the west side of Banner Road. There you see the small lake there. I don't know which one that is. It looks like it's Uncle John Creek site, which is what I'm seeing on Street Scope.
Right.
But again, I couldn't tell, David, just with the naked eye there if it was on the ground. But if it's not on the ground, then I don't. Yeah, it is on the. I think I see some condensation now hitting the ground every now and then, David.
Okay.
It's kind of got dragged out now.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to reorganize here again and just keep moving here.
It's on the ground.
But again, I'm looking at Banner Road and the East 860 is what I'm looking at right now on Street Scope. But again, I'm right in the middle of this antenna farm as it moves through. But you see it, this thing is reforming really quick. It gets ragged and man, it is really reforming really fast and getting tight here, David. So again, we may have had a couple of touchdowns here. I just can't tell you for sure, but it is definitely on the ground. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Bell, Scotty's 9. Back to you.
Jim, have him zoom in there. Have him zoom in. What am I seeing here? It looks like I see condensate or spray or something on the ground. We think it might have touched down once or twice. Briefly. All right, this is in Kingfisher County. This is going to be east of Okarche. This is north of El Reno. This is south and east of Kingfisher. Jim, I don't see it on the ground right now, but it is really close. I mean, it is just, Jim, you know more about this. How tall are those wind turbines there? How tall are those? It is just above those.
About 200 feet, David.
Okay.
About 200 feet, so it's down below the wind turbines.
Okay.
And right now it's really starting to form that classic dome right there. Now there is heavy rain right behind it, so it may get wrapped up in rain here.
Right.
Shortly we got heavy rain in front of us, David, and this is kind of right in between. As you can see on the right and on the left there, you see the heavy rain on the left, you see on the right, you see the clear base right there. But again, if it's not on the ground, David, I just don't know. I don't know if we can get Val to get a better look at it from where he is. But right now, it is definitely below the windmills. I'm right at the top of the windmills. I'm just high enough where I can miss the blade as it rotates around. But so we are pretty low. Rich is telling me that he can see multiple vortices out of the back of this thing. I can't see it with my naked eye, but Again, we're having to kind of slow up here. We're starting to get some rain coming off what's in front of this thing. And this may get rain wrapped, David, here shortly, but which is the worst thing that we could have happen, because you saw it live from here that it was definitely trying to form a large tornado, David.
Well, no, it was definitely trying. It might have touched down once or twice. Hey, Jim, do me a favor. Just scoot a little further north, and you'll get ahead of that rain. Only thing you have to worry about is the backside of the hook coming in with rain in that. Outside of that, you're good. So just go a mile or two to your north, and then it's going to be back to. And you see the area. Just if you go north, you'll get out of that rain another mile and a half, and the rain will end over you. Okay? If you, I'm looking at radar live. If you go a little farther northwest, if you go a little further north, Jim, you'll be out of the rain. Okay? And then you'll have a better shot looking. You'll have a better shot looking back to the west and to the southwest of it. Okay, let's go back to the ground. And I'll tell you what, before we do that, let's go to Link 3. Look at the hook. Look at the hook, folks. I don't have to tell you what that is. We all know what that is in Oklahoma, right? There it is. Okay. This is going to be Kingfisher. There's the area of circulation. Valcaster is right there. Jim is right here. We're looking back to the northwest. Okay. Shear rate, it's maxed out nearly for this event. For right now, that's pretty high. Our area of spin now is between Val and Jim Gardner. Jim's looking off to his northwest. Val Castor's looking off to his southeast. This thing is hauling, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Okay, let's back out. We'll do a storm track. And let's back out here just a bit. And let's go to Links 4 control room and take a look at that. Okay, there's the supercell. I want to point out there's nothing headed for Oklahoma City right now. That could change, and that will change later this afternoon. All right, the big story right now is this tornado warning. This is going to be for southern Kingfisher County. You can clearly see the hook. There's Kingfisher. There's Dover. This is going to go east of Dover. It's going to go east of Kingfisher. All right, it's going to go north-northeast. Okay, so doing a storm track on the hook part. Back here, we're looking at Marshall at about 3:55, Douglas 4 o'clock, Fairmont 4:10, Breckenridge 4:16, Billings 4:28, Palm Creek 4:35, and Tonkawa, let's see what happened to it. Tonkawa at about 4:43. It's a long ways away from Tonkawa, but in short term here, Garber, yes, Fairmont 4:10. Keep an eye on it. It's coming in from the south, right? It's coming in from the south, but it will go east of Kingfisher for sure. There's the hook. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the video here. This is when it might have touched down just briefly. We're going to roll that for you here and show you what it looked like. And we'll get that video playing there. And that's what we were talking about right there. And again, it wasn't too strong, but you can see the condensate lifting, and it is turning into it. Okay, lifting and turning. And then after this, it got a little bit stronger as well. So it might have been a brief touchdown. And let's go to the next piece of video here. And this is when I think it was a little bit stronger possibly. Rich Kriegel, that is Jim's photographer, photojournalist that is with Jim. That's running the camera. Then we have Jim Gardner at the helm, flying it, obviously. And this is when Rich was thinking he was seeing little areas of condensate on the ground. That would make it an official tornado. But right there. Okay, that was just a few minutes ago. Okay, let's go back to Links 3. Look at the moisture in the atmosphere. And again, there's the boundary. Thunderstorms continue. These are all severe north and west of Oklahoma City. And we have the one tornadic supercell here. Going up into Kingfisher County. Once again, there's nothing in Oklahoma City. There's nothing headed our way at this moment. Now, these storms out west will eventually make their way in, okay? All right, but tornado warning continues for central and eastern, the eastern half, let's just say, of Kingfisher County. East of Kingfisher, you folks in Kingfisher, you've got no threat of a tornado out of this storm. You're out of it. Okarche, you're out of it. Dover, you're out of it. It's going to go to your east. Hennessy, you're probably out of it as well. This is going to be to your east. But there's the hook. And what?
Lakes. It does look like it will likely go to the west of Casseon.
Yes.
As well.
Oh yeah, totally. West of Casseon, it's going to go west of Crescent. It's kind of splitting the uprights here, right? It's kind of going in between everybody. There's Kingfisher, right? And there's Crescent. And the dangerous part of the storm is right here. There's the hook, and that's where Val is. Okay, let's jump back into southwestern Oklahoma here. Again, we've got a lot of storms to cover. We're moving around the state. Storms in the north are severe. Right now, these are not tornadic. They're in the cold air behind the boundary, so they're severe.
The one Bobby's on near Putnam is very close to the boundary, and it does have some rotation with it. We were just looking at that one.
Yeah, let's go. Let's zoom into that, then we'll talk about the storms out west. Okay, so Bobby Payne's right here. You can see the hook on that. That's to the east of Bobby. And this thing has had rotation in it. Big hail, by the way, north of Putnam. That's going to be golf ball size hail there in Putnam, if not larger. And there is rotation down here, down to the south, just east of Bobby, right there. About 5-6 miles northeast of Bobby's location, or just southeast of Putnam, right? And Bobby's right there. Let's go back to Bobby. Let's get an update from Bobby Payne. And Bobby, your storm.
Copy that.
You're on the boundary. You're close to the boundary, Bobby Payne. Let's get an update from you. And again, it is still rotating, but your storm is about ready to move into cool air. And that's a good problem to have. Give me an update.
David, I was right on the very tip of that hook echo, what we call a reflectivity hook on radar, and I was getting northwest winds, about 30, 35 mile per hour winds. I didn't really see any rotation, but I tell you what, the low deck of clouds were streaming from the northwest to the southeast, but I did not see any organized rotation. Back to you, David.
All right, stay with it here, and we'll see what it does a little bit longer as we track multiple storms today. So far, we might have had maybe a brief spin-up or two in Kingfisher County with a possible tornado there about 15 minutes ago. Jim Gardner's on top of it. Val Castro's on the ground looking right at it. I'm looking at it right now as well. And we'll go back to that storm. Let's go into southwestern Oklahoma, Lynx 3. And that storm over Cheyenne is severe. The storm into Dewey County is severe up near Loga. And then, again, the storm at Cheyenne, it is in the warm air. It's a concern. Marty Logan's right there. And we'll go to Marty here coming up. And then we have the other big supercells out west. Justin, Alan Brosey, is he westbound and down?
Yeah, he is westbound.
Okay. Yeah, he needs to get way west in a big hurry. Way west in a big hurry. Okay, let's go back. I'll tell you what, before we do that, it's this storm track. And this Wellington storm, you folks in Eric, we really got to watch this. Eric, Sayre, Elk City, you folks really need to keep an eye on these storms out here today. We're there. We're watching it. And what is Jim looking at? I'm looking at his shot. Just want to make sure that's not anything crazy. Boy, it's really trying. It is really trying. Okay, so a storm track, Wellington, Texas at 3:34, Sayre 4:37, Carter at about 4:40, Elk City High School 5 o'clock, and Elk City downtown at about 5 o'clock. Let's go to Jim. Let's go to Jim Gardner. Is a tornado on the ground? Let's see what it's doing here. It is turning. Control room, take Jim. There it is. Right there. There's the cone. There's the funnel. Let's look on the ground, guys. Let's look on the ground. Jim, what do you think? Is a tornado on the ground? Give me an update.
Not yet, David, but it's trying awful hard. It is trying awful hard. It does exactly what you're seeing right now. It spins, and then it kind of falls apart, and then it'll spin right up. Oh, man, go back to the right. Go to the right. Go to the right. Go to the right. We just had another one spin up just in the front of that. Now, I don't know if that's on the ground or not, David, but that is big, and it is up front of the one that we were shooting just moments ago. That's why this whole thing along here, I'm going to roll around.
Yeah.
Hang
Zoom
on,
in
Rich.
here.
I'm going to roll around.
Jim, zoom in on that one right there. Zoom in below the ground to that. Zoom in on the ground for me. Zoom in. Go on in.
Yep.
Go on in.
Is that as far as we can go in, Rich?
That's fine. That's all I need.
It's on the ground. It's on the ground, David.
There it is. Tornado on the ground.
It's on the ground.
Tornado on the ground. There it is. Tornado on the ground. Right here. There's the tornado. It's on the ground. There's the cone. It's condensate free in between. When the pressure's lower, when it strengthens, it'll condensate in if it gets that close. But right now the tornado is on the ground. It's going through a little river bottom there, a little creek bottom. That was just on the ground. Okay. All right. Probably still on the ground. Jim, let's zoom back in there one more time. There's a tornado. We've got a couple
it's still on the ground, David. It is still whipping around right in there. But that was forming up front of the one that we were shooting, that we were watching live on here. Then I looked back and saw that one.
Yeah.
And that one was definitely on the ground, David.
Yeah.
As it was moving across here, and it is still, that whole thing is rotating.
Oh yeah.
David, that whole thing is rotating, and it could still be touching the ground. I believe it is on the ground. It looks like I can see a couple with the naked eye. I see a couple of vortices dancing around in there, David. So it is forming back up, and it is trying to get down on the ground here. It looks like it's really starting to form. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it with my naked eye now, Rich. If you push in, I think you can. Okay, it's
okay.
Which highway we crossing? 33.
33, Jim. You're crossing Highway 33. from the south. You're crossing Highway 30. There's Highway 33 right now that goes into Watonga.
Right, we're crossing, so on street scope, I can see Highway 33, North 2930 Road.
Oh, there's debris.
Okay, stuff's flying on the ground.
There's debris. It just hit something. It just hit something. There it is. We have debris in the air now. There's the tornado. It's not very strong, but it just hit.
We got stuff flying in
it
the
just
air,
hit
David,
this,
so
whatever
again
this
now,
is, right here.
As we pull back a little bit.
Okay, just all debris.
I really can't see anything on the ground right now, but that is very low. So again, it looks like it may be cycling again. It's right over 33, and it looks like North 2930 Road is the closest road that I see on street scope, on my street scope, to where it's crossed, David. But again, this is definitely not something to fool with right here. This is trying to drop a big tornado eventually, David.
Well,
but again, it looks like it's kind of pulled everything up into it.
Right.
The one that we were shooting that was on the back side, that got drawn into this, and now we're starting to see. If you look on the left-hand side there, you can see that kind of vertical vortices right there, David.
Yeah, right
it's trying to. It's got one of those kind of. Not vertical, but lateral vortices there we're trying to form.
Too,
now this is starting to really crank up,
no,
David.
It is.
Look at the ground. Look at the ground. Okay. I don't see what you're talking about, Rich. But
hang on. I see it from time to time. Right now it's a weak tornado.
It's outer thing there, but
Jim. It's a weak tornado right now. Okay, if you're joining us now, we've had the tornado on the ground for the last 4 or 5 minutes. It's been weak. You can see the wall cloud here. This is north of Highway 33, and this is going to be basically it's going to be into Kingfisher County, east of Kingfisher. Okay, Kingfisher is to the west. The Highway 33 is back to the south, and this is going to go into northwestern and far western Logan County. Okay, let's check back in with Val. Hey, Justin, where's Val going? Justin, where's Val going? Okay, we need to get him back into place. Let's just touch base with Val. Is his GPS not working? Okay, all right, let's go back to Val Castor and get an update from Val. And Val, go ahead. Go ahead, Val Castor. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're seeing the wall cloud to our northeast, David. The tornado looks like it's lifted. We don't see anything on the ground at the moment, but there's still a big-time lowering right there. And that's going to be to our northeast. Looks like about 3 miles or so, David. Back to you.
All right, hey, Justin, here's the deal. He's got to get up to the highway. He's got to get off the dirt roads. He's got to get to the highway. He's got to get to the highway. Okay, it's moving at 50.
It's
Remember,
almost 60 miles an hour.
It's nearly 60 miles per hour. He cannot get on the dirt roads. No mud roads, no dirt roads. You got to get on the highway.
It's getting close to the Cimarron River right now.
It's going to cross the river here in just in the next few minutes. Okay, let's go back. Jim Gardner has the shot. Up there's the wall cloud. Let's go to shear rate, links 3. And let's go to links 3 control room and look at that now. Yeah, that's not really a city. There's nothing there.
Right.
Yeah. That was an old township back in the day, and trust me, that's not there anymore. So here's Crescent. Okay, here's Crescent Springs, and downtown Crescent's right here. North of town, you have the Bend. Let's kind of back out of this just a second. I want to point out there's nothing right now headed for Oklahoma City. We have storms in the west. I'll show you. We'll get to those. We've had this tornado on the ground here for the last 20 minutes or so, at least off and on, intermittently. I've got Jim shot up, and there's the hook. Let's lapse that. Let's see what the movement here. Make sure it's moving at 50 to nearly 60 miles per hour, folks. It's moving now more northeasterly. Remember earlier it was moving almost due north. Now it's moving more northeasterly.
And David, I do have a track on links 4 when you're ready.
Okay, let's go back to Jim Shot. Go back to Jim Shot. Take Jim Shot. Jim Gardner's it on the ground. There's a tube. There's a funnel. Looks like it's on the ground. I saw that form in about 2 seconds. Is it on the ground, Jim Gardner?
That's right. It went to the ground really quick. That's what I mean, David. With this is dropping a lot of separate little vortices out of this huge wall cloud here. That was, you saw right there, that spun up, went to the ground. Now it is back up, but as we look on the right-hand part of your screen, that wall cloud, I get some of these vortices in front, and I got that one in back, but the main concentration is right there, as Rich is zooming in on. There's another one trying to spin up, David. So this is, I mean, I don't know what's keeping this from just being a huge, massive tornado right now, but you can see it spinning up again right there, and that may, I mean, that could be on the ground. There's starting to get some rain
right here,
wrapped around there.
Right
you can see the vortices right there kind of dancing around together, David.
Right here.
So again, at any moment, this
Yeah.
can drop a significant tornado here.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we
yeah,
track
yeah,
it. Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
said, it is hauling across the ground.
Yep,
We are
yep,
already
yep,
coming up to
yep.
the Cimarron River here.
Yep, boom.
So it is flat
Wow, look at the
moving,
motion.
David. And you can see that, I mean, it is very low to the ground. And if it's not on the ground, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Because it's, this is all very active through here, David, on this huge wall cloud here.
Yeah.
And you can see these little vortices just start dropping
there's one.
all around. And, you know,
there's
there are a
one.
couple of times we had 3 or 4 little vortices just dance around one another there.
there's
So again, this is not something to be playing with. The good thing is it's out in a very remote area right now. But again, we're coming up to the Cimarron River here, David.
Really spinning.
And man,
Really spinning.
what a, I mean, this, whatever's keeping it from just dropping a large tornado, I don't know,
Yeah.
David. But
No, I know.
We're in a really good spot tracking it. We'll keep you updated.
No,
Back to you.
you're all over it, Jim. Go ahead and zoom on in there, Jim Gardner, right in the center part of that. Have Rich zoom in to right underneath that. Yeah, right there. Let's look for condensate. Let's look for condensate. Let's look for something in the air. I mean, this literally is a few hundred feet above the ground right now. And it is, I don't see any debris in the air, but I'm telling you, hang on. Condensate, condensate, condensate. We have wrapping, rotating rain curtains coming in from the south. Okay, that's going to fold over. Watch this, that's going to fold over, and that might tighten it up. That might tighten it up if it folds. Seen that happen a million times. Let's see what happens here. Okay, what? Ooh. Okay, golly, that thing is so close. It's been on the ground off and on as of this second, as of right now. It's not on the ground, but I mean, literally, it's changing like that. Okay, let's go back to Links 3 and Links 3 Crescent. If you live in or west of Crescent, you've got to go to your safe spot. You got to go there right now. Tornado warning now continues for western and northwestern Logan County. And there's the tornado. There's the shear rate. It's maxed out. Max route look like anything to you at all?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, control room, can they take Jim?
It's trying.
Control room, can you take Jim out of my ear, please? Okay, thank you. Okay, there's Jim's shot. Okay, let's go back to Links 3. Let's go back to Links 3. And again, there's the hook. Okay. Okay, it's going to level, midway, but level, 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 level. It's a small little community. And I know you're tiny, but you still matter, and you're there. Okay, southeast of Marshall. If you live in northwestern and western Logan County, you got to go to your safe spot. You got to go there now. That's the lowest level. If you live in a mobile home, you've got to get out. If it's coming at you, if this is coming towards you, if you live in between that and level, you've got to go to your safe spot right now. Tornado has been on the ground intermittently. Right now, it appears that it has lifted. There it is right there, looking at Jim's shot, looking at the tornado. If it develops, we're going to have it. Look at the motion. Look how fast that's changing. That's not sped up, folks. That's live. Look at the motion on that. Look how fast that is. Okay, so there's Jim. There's the hook. That piece right there, that is that. That's the back edge of that. Let's see the reds and the greens together. Tight couplet. Tight couplet. Could tornado at any time. Could produce a tornado at any time. Let's go to shear rate. Okay, what did he say? Okay, all right, Jim's right there. Still strong circulation. This is going to be a new tornado warning. Once again, coming into western Logan County, west of Crescent. From Crescent up to Level, tornado warning for you. And there it is, right there. We're looking at it, but it's not on the ground. But it takes about 2 seconds for that to happen. It's very, very close. Jim's going to back out on his shot there. And you can see the lowering. There's the wall cloud, and that's what it looks like. There it is. Let's go to Jim Gardner. Take Jim Gardner, shot full, tornado on the ground.
Tilt down.
Go to Jim. Go to
it's
Jim.
Right
There's
there.
the tornado.
On the ground, David. You can see it right there.
There it is. Tornado on the ground. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, that's right, David. We just it's in the trees right now. Like I said, the good thing is we're out in a very remote area, but there are some farm homes up to the northeast of this, and I see some lights up right directly north of it. It is definitely on the ground, David. You can see it right there, plain as day. That's what we've been trying to find, is to get some indication that it's been on the ground. Like I said, this may have been on the ground for just off and on for a while here. We just never could really see it till it really hit right there at the river there, and went over the river. Then I spotted it really good. You can see it right there. So it is still moving, and I mean, it is hooking fast, David, across here. But again, there for a moment, it was on the ground. I can't see now that it still may be on the ground, but I'm not quite sure. But man, we're just right on the east side of this, and kind of picking up some haze here. But it is traveling fast, it's moving fast, and it's dropping. I see, let's see, what road do we have on street scope there, Rich? It looks like County Road 76. County Road 76, north County Road 2970, going up to east County Road 750 road. So again, just off and on, David, this thing is dropping a tornado to the ground here.
Yeah.
We're going to have to drop down. We're starting to get into some scud here, so I'm going to pitch it back to you real quick, and we'll get out of this scud that is being drawn in by this storm here.
Yeah,
and,
Jim. Jim.
Okay.
If
Rich,
you get,
Rich, it's on the ground again.
It's on the
got
ground.
A shot of it there. You can see all that condensate coming across
there it
the
is.
ground there,
okay.
David.
Yeah, here's what's
so
happening.
It is on the ground. I'm dropping.
Right.
I'm dropping down pretty low here, so to get a better shot of this.
Yes. Okay, folks. Hey, Jim, give me 2 seconds. Tornado on the ground. This is leaving Kingfisher County. There's the tornado. There's the cone. It's strong enough. We're getting condensate. This is all condensate. This isn't rain. This is condensate. It's still moisture. It's liquid that's being formed by the tornado and the low pressure in and around the tornado. Everything here is spinning counterclockwise, flowing in, and this is the tornado. You can see the little vapor. See the little vapor? You see the little, looks like cloud on the ground right there? There it is. That's the tornado, and that is what it's doing as it's moving across the ground. Winds are going to be in excess of 100 miles per hour in here as this continues to move from the southwest to the northeast. This is the tornado now going through a grove of trees. We've got condensate, and again, that it's continuing to happen live right here on News 9. There's the cone. There's the cone. Okay, let's go back to Links 3, and let's look at, again, where the tornado is. It's right here. Jim's right here, looking off to his north. This is going to be 5 miles, roughly 5 miles west of Crescent. That donut hole right there, looking back at you. Let's go back to Jim. There's a tornado again on the ground. Go ahead, Jim. Yep. I see the vortices. I see the vortices. There's a vortice right there. This continues to be on the ground, and this has been on the ground now for, well, about 25, 30 minutes now intermittently, but now it's getting stronger. Rotation getting stronger. The tornado getting stronger from time to time. It's going to get far enough north and hit that boundary. It's going to get far enough north and eventually hit the boundary, and that'll be a good thing.
Northern Logan County, northern Kingfisher County is the boundary.
Northern? Okay, so we still have about 20 miles to go, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, so to the north is a boundary where the air is much cooler and much more stable. If it gets into that area, and it's going to, it will weaken, but we got to get it there first. And the problem is, what's it going to do between now and then? It's doing this right now. There's a tornado on the ground. You can see the condensate from time to time. There's the cone, and it's not a classic tornado. It's not hanging back out with no rain or any precip around it. It's an ugly tornado. They're all ugly, this one especially, though, right? But look at the spin here. Look at the vortices. Look at the vortices. Here's another one. Jim Gardner, let's bring Jim back in it, then we'll go back to Links 3. Jim, clearly on the ground. How many vortices do you have on the ground right now? How many tornadoes are on the ground? How many individual vortices do you see on the ground right now?
Well, we saw about 4, David, is what we counted just a minute ago. There were 4 definite small vortices dancing around one another, and you know, what brings that back to mind, and you know this too, David, is that's the way May 3rd, 1999 started, was with 4 vortices dancing around one another. Then all of a sudden they just formed up into one huge, massive tornado. So again, you know, you can see the tornado there. If we pop up street scope real quick, keep a medium shot there. If you pop up street scope, you can see the county roads now, David, where that tornado is. Right there, all the county roads, 126th Street, County Line Road. So just another thing we can do with street scope, and you can start seeing names of where sites are, like the Winter Creek site here, dam, and you can see the Zion Community Cemetery right there. So again, yeah, this is one of those, David, that drops those small vortices. They all get danced around, and all of a sudden they all come together and just to form one massive tornado here. So again, we're in a great spot. We're tracking it, David. I believe it's, you know, if it's not on the ground now, it's still a lot of wind packing around the outside wall of this thing, and it's a move because it is moving almost 50 or 60 miles an hour here, David. Jim Garporing live from Bob Mills, Scott News 9, back to you.
Okay, all right, great job, Jim. There's the wall cloud. Once again, street scope, tracking it mile by mile, street by street. And this has produced a fairly substantial lengthwise tornado now. It's been on the ground for 20, 25 minutes off and on. We're getting a little better visibility now from Jim Gardner and Rich Kriegel. You can see the tight circulation. This is where the tornado is, and look how fast the motion is. And folks, it really continues. It's on the ground. It's off and on the ground. There comes another little piece of vortice. This whole thing is on the ground. This is now coming into, are we into Logan County?
Yes.
We are, but only by about, what, a mile or so. Okay, control room, do me a favor. Keep this up. Just push it over. Keep it in a box. I don't want to lose it. I want to be able to see it. And let's go back to Links 3. Links 3, this is the rotation track, the sheer track, if you will. This is where it's been so far. Again, starting west of El Reno, that's the track. That's exactly where the Mesocyclone has been. And now it is west of Crescent. It's going to level. Okay, little tiny community at Midway. There's the tornado on the ground. You're seeing it live right here on News 9. That's the tornado on the ground. There's where it is. See the hole? Looking back at you? Looking back at you? There it is. There's the tornado right there. That hole is that. That hole is that. All right? It's like the eye of a hurricane. Looking right back. Boom, there it is. Okay, so the tornado continues on the ground. Again, we're talking about west of Crescent. And the tornado is on the ground. It's going up. It's going to go south and east of level or on level. It's going to be close. Look at the wall cloud. And strong rotation now. Let's go to reflectivity and see what's going on. Again, there's the hook, classic hook, lifting northeast. You folks in Marshall, it's probably going to go just east of you. And look at the tornado there, folks. There it is on the ground, live from Jim Gardner. Look at the vortices. It's a multiple vortex tornado. It's
quickly
a multiple.
Approaching Highway 74.
Yes, it's how close are we to? It's going to cross 74.
About 4 miles right
okay.
now, west of 74.
Okay, look at the tornado, folks. It's a multiple vortex. It's one area, it's one updraft, right? But inside of that, we've got multiple vortices like a merry-go-round rotating around each other, right? It's like a merry-go-round, and it's just rotating around each other, and we're getting these ups and downs vortices inside that area of circulation. That is a problem. So we've had some damage here. We've seen a little bit of damage so far with that, but there's the eye. We don't like to see the eye looking back at you, right? There it is right there.
We have a storm track.
And it's going to level. Let's do it. Storm track, Logan County, Links 4. And, okay, we've done a storm track back here with the area of circulation. Okay? Marshall at 4:02. You folks in Marshall, 4:02. It's 3:52. You've got 10 minutes. That's how fast it's moving. There's a tornado on the ground. You can see the spray on the ground, right? See the spray? See the spray? It's continuously on the ground. It's on the ground. Okay, so Marshall, 402, go to your safe spot, lowest level. If you live in a mobile home, you're going to have to get out of that. Covington, 414, Billings, 432, and then from there we'll worry about it a little bit later, only because it's going to get into some cold air, and I think it will eventually weaken. I think it will weaken. But look at the tornado on the ground. Let's go back to Jim Gardner. There's the tornado, northwest of Crescent, 5 miles. Let's go back to Jim. Jim, it's on the ground. There it is. Right there. There's the tornado. There's one vortice. Moving across water in the fields. There's the tornado. It's right there. Jim, go ahead. Give me an update.
Well, that's right, David. It's like you said, this is fluctuating. It drops them, picks them up, drops them, picks them up. But it's been consistent for like 20 minutes or 25 minutes of these dropping just small vortices going back up, sometimes multiple vortices going back up. But it's definitely on the ground, David. Even though now you can't see the connection between the wall cloud and the ground, it is definitely spinning because we can see the spray kicking up every now and then on the ground. And like I said, this thing is moving, and it is moving fast. I'm telling you, man, it is really hooking here. I'm just sitting on the northwest side of Crescent right now, which I'll be moving to the north side of Crescent here pretty quick here as we track this, shooting off back to the west northwest. But again, and move up to your right, move up to your right, move up, pan right. There's another one just dropped down, David. We were watching that one, it quit, now we got this one up front of us now. So
okay.
This is what's happening all along the line here, is this is dropping in one spot, and it moves up to another spot.
Yeah.
So now pan back to your left, right. Good shot right there. Look at there, David, there's 2 of them right there.
Yeah, there's
this
the left
shot.
one, right?
And so that's the problem with this storm here, man. It is just we definitely don't want these two things coming together because it could get really bad.
Okay.
Then. But you're looking at the one on the left.
Yeah, Jim, the one on the left's on the ground.
Again, it's coning, it's on the ground.
Yep, there it is. There's the tornado right there.
Just a
tornado
big storm,
on the ground.
David, that's all I can say. If we have street scope up, you can see County Line Road, Council Road. You can see kind of where it is right there. Like I said, I'm about 2 to 3 miles northwest of Crescent right now.
Okay, yes, you're about 5 miles, I think, northwest of Crescent, give or take. Jim, you're right. You're right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
roger that. That'd be about where. There it is. The other one coned out. The front one coned out.
Oh,
right
there it is.
Now we got.
There it is. Tornado on the
These
ground.
are 2 tornadoes, David. 2 tornadoes, man, in this same storm that we're tracking here.
Right, here we go. Okay, so there's the cone.
Back to the left. Back to the left.
Look at the tornado filling in. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So we have 2 tornadoes. I'm splitting the uprights here. Tornado to my left, on the ground. Tornado on my backside, on the ground. And this is going to be northwest of Crescent, about 5 miles. MacArthur Boulevard, crossing MacArthur Boulevard. Tornado on the ground there, and tornado on the ground here. 2 tornadoes right now on the ground. This is going to be northwest of Crescent, and these tornadoes continue to get stronger, at least at this point. We'll see what they do, but that is beginning to weaken some. And here comes the next one. Watch the condensate. Watch the condensate fill in, right? Look at the snake. Watch the snake. Watch the snake. When the pressures get low enough, this is going to snake back, and it's going to drop in. Watch it. Watch it right here. It's snaking back. The tornado's on the ground. You just can't see the condensate. When it gets strong enough, there it is. See that? The pressures aren't low enough to get condensate to fill up the tube. When the pressure gets low enough, that's when you'll see it condensate all the way in. But sometimes it doesn't, all right? But you still get damage, and you still get debris, and you still get problems. And we've got problems. All right, look at the vortice. Now it's trying to pull back to the left. Look at that. Okay, just go back to Jim Gardner. Let's go back to Jim. And Jim, I tell you what, it is really doing a thing right now. And we had 2 tornadoes on the ground. Jim Gardner, I know you can hear me. What do you think? It looks like it's still on the ground to me. Rotation continues to be strong just to your northwest. Northwest of Crescent right now. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, that's right, David. It looks like the one to the left of this one has died. This one has basically kind of roped out, but it's still trying to reform there, David. It has been on the ground, but now it's kind of dissipating. But look what's up front, David. Now we're going to pan to the right again. We got another one on the ground. That's the 3rd one in this line, David. This just now happened. This is now to the north of those two. Those 2 dissipated, and this one started up, David. So it's just moving up the line here as we keep tracking it here. So again, County Road 69 that we see in MacArthur Road is right there on Street Scope that it's on right now, David. But this is crazy. We had a shot of 2 tornadoes a moment ago for Bob Bell Sky News 9. They dissipated, and then this one dropped to the north of those. So again, it is still on the ground, David, and that's the biggest problem with this storm here is you don't know where a tornado is going to drop out of this storm here, David.
And this thing is putting on quite a spectacle. All right, there's the tornado. It's right here. See the condensate? Hey, Jim, have Rich zoom in on that for me. Have him zoom in on it. I want to see it. I want to see the condensate on the field. See everything rotating around?
It's right there, David. It's in the trees
right now. Here it is.
now.
It's going through the trees. There's the backside of the tornado. It's just, remember, it's just fluid. It's just water. Now it's starting to sit and spin. It looks like over maybe some water. Just went over some power lines. And now it's getting stronger. Okay, getting stronger right here. Okay, so there it is. Tornado again continues on the ground. All right, it's going over another little pond. All right.
Okay. Now it's lifted, David. Now it's lifted. It's lifted up again.
Okay, let's.
But again, that doesn't mean it's done.
No.
I'm keep looking back. We keep kind of panning back because you just don't know where along this line one may drop out here on us, David. But again, that was the northernmost tornado there that just now dissipated. But again, everybody just be aware. It looks like it may be trying to move further up along the line here and form another spot here where it's going to drop another tornado, David. So this is just a very, very active storm here. Rich, come back, pull back a little bit, and tilt down. Tell me what road. Let's see what Street Scope says. Tilt down. Tilt. Yeah, no, tilt down. Right there. Portland Avenue. Okay. Portland Avenue and County Road 69.
Okay.
So
all right.
Right now I'm on just tracking Portland.
Yep.
Northbound.
Yep.
Just on the east side of Portland. Looks like we're going to have another one start up here just to the left of the screen there, David.
Yep. I agree.
And
there it is. Okay.
It's on the ground. Rich is telling me that the condensate's on the ground.
You can see it on the ground again?
So,
yep,
that's right.
There it is.
Right out the door again. It started another one.
Okay. And we'll get a storm track on this.
Just very active along this line here, David.
Nope.
It's just dropping tornadoes one after another.
It is.
But, we had just an amazing shot for Bob Mills, Sky News 9 there.
Oh, it's incredible.
When we showed 2 tornadoes, both of them on the ground. They both dissipated and then got the third one just to the north of it here.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rich said this one possibly may be heading towards some homes.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Jim, I'm gonna put you in the box over here on the side, and we're gonna go back to radar here real quick. So control room, let's put Jim over here. Let's go back to Lynx 1, and let's do a storm track on this. Let's go back to Lynx 3, Lynx 4, Lynx 4, excuse me, Lynx 4, and take a look at it. Then I'll go to Val, and okay, again, this whole area, Marshall up to Lucien, up to Hayward to Covington. You're in the line of fire, right? Marshall. Covington, 414. Marshall, 403 still. Billings, 432. Lamont, Tonkawa, 445. It's a long ways away from there, and the air is much cooler up here. It's going to move into a more favorable or a more unfavorable environment once it gets a little bit farther north. But right now, it is game on. Let's go to Valcaster. Let's go to Val shot on the ground. And Ponca City at about 5 o'clock if it makes it there. Let's go to Val. And Val, you've been watching it, putting down multiple tornadoes in the last half hour or so. And look at the rotation from Val's shot. Val and Amy. Give me an update, Val. What you think? It looks like it's up, it's down, it's up and down. Give me an update.
Tornado on the ground right there, David. If you can see in our shot right there, tremendously strong rotation. This is, you would not believe how many chasers are out here and people driving around just about having wrecks out here. But there's at least one tornado on the ground. Every now and then we see debris getting kicked up.
Yeah.
And also there's another funnel straight north of us. So there's two areas of circulation.
Right.
I'm going to ask these people if we can get by. Roll the window down. Can we go on? Can we go on? Thank you.
Yeah. You can go on.
All right. They waved us on.
Yeah. Keep going. There it is. There's one of the cones.
There is the rotation. There's a strong rotation. Every now and then we see debris being kicked up on the ground with the south rotation, but there's another funnel straight to the north. Another funnel straight to the north that looks like to me it's been trying to come down also.
Right.
So anyway, we're about to catch up. We're about to go under it here in a minute, and this is going to be southeast of Lavelle, David, almost approaching Highway 74.
Okay, yeah, great job. Great job, Val. Stay with it. Val's on the ground, obviously, and he is seeing what Jim has been seeing from the air. We've been live with this tornado for well over half an hour now, live with this one tornado. It's produced multiple tornadoes. Let's go back to Lynx 3, and I want to talk about southwestern Oklahoma here, and then we'll get back to that, right? It's lifted for now. Into Logan County.
Yeah, near level.
Yeah, near level. Okay. All right, so there we go. Strong circulation, tornado more than likely on the ground in northwest Texas. That's going to Hollis. Folks. You folks in Hollis, you got to stay weather aware. Who's coming in from the east?
Allen's and Duke.
Okay. Yeah. Get him. Hey, Justin. Okay, hang on. Hey, zoom in here for me real quick.
Okay.
I want to zoom in here real quick. Okay, I'm trying to listen to what Alan's doing. Justin, are you taking, okay, yeah. Okay, let's go back to, yep. Let's go back to Jim Gardner's shot. Let's go back to the Metro. My bad. Let's stay out here real quick. We'll go ahead and do that here in just a second. There it is. Jim Gardner, is the tornado still on the ground again from your shot? Go ahead, Jim Gardner. Give us an update. Now going into.
Looks like Oklahoma 51 and North Bay Avenue on street scope here. I can't really tell, David, but I mean, just the way things have been going this afternoon, I would say that's on the ground. I would say that there's something on the ground. I can't really see it with my eye right now, but I mean, it's just been popping up all along here, David. Just, one area goes with a tornado, it dissipates, and then up further north of that, it drops another tornado. Now, this is north. This is the far northern part of this storm before it hits the back of the rain here, and I believe something was on the ground with this one, Dave, if it's not still on the ground here. I don't know if you can see back there, if you can see any condensate or not, but it looks like there's a whole lot of dust and stuff down below this, and it is spinning, David. So anyway, this is north of there. Like I said, let's pull back wide. Let's go back now. We'll go pan back to the left just to make sure nothing else drops out. We got those right there too, David, that possibly could drop another tornado out of those because they're rotating and starting to come together here. So again, there's two areas again here, David, that anything could drop out at any time. And wow, what an afternoon.
Yeah, great job, Jim. You and Rich are doing a phenomenal job up there, warning the folks of Canadian County, Kingfisher County, Logan County. Jim Gardner's shots are absolutely spectacular because he knows what he's doing. He can get down and low, and he's comfortable at flying at close range. All right, that's what he does. And anyway, let me show you what this thing did about 10 minutes ago, right, in case you missed it on News 9. Take a look at some of the video here. We have the two tornadoes on the ground at the same time. Tornado 1 right there. You can see the condensate nearly all the way to the ground. That was with one of the tornadoes. And then we had the other tornado here. We had that on the ground. That's on the ground. And that was on the ground there. So two tornadoes on the ground at the same time. And you were seeing it live from Val Castor and Jim Gardner. Look at that tornado there. That was about 15 minutes ago. 10 to 15 minutes ago. That just happened. That just happened. Okay, let's go to, look at that. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, let's go to Links 3 and talk about the tornadic supercell we have. Here it is. You can see the big storm here. There's the hook. Here comes Val coming in from the south. We've got Jim Gardner coming in from the southeast on this thing. And looking right at it, it's lifting north. Now, once you get up into Garfield County and Noble County, it's in the low 60s up here. It's much cooler. That atmosphere is not as conducive for tornadoes as it is farther south, right? So as it moves farther north, the tornado threat, if it gets up here far enough, will diminish. The problem is the boundary is trying to, Cassie, does it look like it's moving farther north the boundary at all? This should keep the boundary firm with that much convection, but it is such a dynamic system that it could take the warm front and shove it farther north.
I think east of I-35 it's lifting. We have more of an east wind now on the north side of it, east of I-35.
Okay.
But I mean, winds just came around out of the north pretty strong now in Breckenridge and in Enid.
Okay.
So
but that could be totally tied to this though too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be the beginning of the front trying to hold its own. So either way, once this gets a little farther north, once it gets into the cool air, it's gonna weaken some. But right now we have a problem. We've had that tornado on the ground for quite a while. Okay, so let's do a storm track, and let's go to southwestern Oklahoma and talk about a big storm coming in. Now, I'll tell you what, let's do the big view. I'm going to give everybody the overview here. Nothing headed for Oklahoma City right now, right? And some of the data we were looking at today had multiple storms around the metro developing between 3 and 4 and 5 o'clock. So the door is still open for that to happen. But right now, we've had the tornadoes have been with that storm, and we've got problems going on with this storm and that storm, which will probably.
Warning north of Hydro for that storm on the boundary.
Okay, and yes, and that storm right here. So we have problems along the boundary because it's warming up behind the boundary, and the winds are more out of the east and northeast. So again, this whole line is capable of producing tornadoes. Now, far northern Oklahoma, it's too cool. Air is too cool and too stable here. Okay, let's take a look at, real quick, here's Blaine County, Okeene. Again, severe storms now west of Okeene. Could ramp up and produce a tornado near Roman Nose. Right now, these are wind and hail producers and flash flooding producers for a well, as well. And then back down towards Thomas and Putnam and down to Morewood. These storms are all severe. They're all severe there. And then we have, again, the one tornadic storm up north. I'm watching it. I'm looking at Val's video. Is it on the ground again? If it is, we'll go back. If it is, we'll go back. Okay, let's go back into western Oklahoma.
There's the tornado warning.
Where's the new warning coming out of?
Right here for Watonga. This is right on the boundary. I mean, it's hugging it.
Okay, yeah, it is. It's right on the boundary. Okay, this is a problem. It's right here. It's north of Hitchcock. Circulation is north of Watonga. Actually, it's southwest of Hitchcock, excuse me. North of Watonga. Okay, so this is going to be another tornado warning. This is going to be north of Watonga, and from there it's going to head up towards Hitchcock and then Cato eventually. But again, this is on the cool front or the warm front. If it can get north of that, it will begin to weaken some. But we've got to get these storms north of that boundary. They don't want to get north of it. That's where it's cool and stable. They want to stay where it's unstable and warm. That's their fuel. Warm air, unstable air. That's like dessert for us, right? That's what they want. That's why they want to eat. That's what they want to breathe in. And that's why they will try to stay south of that boundary. They're trying so hard. Is it on the ground again? Is it on the ground again? Okay, so new tornado warning for Blaine County. That's going to go to Hitchcock. That's going to go to Cato. You folks in Hitchcock, again, the tornado is going to be right northwest of Watonga. Right northwest of Watonga. Okay, let's quickly go back into western Oklahoma.
And pay close attention to Morewood as well.
And let's talk about southwestern Oklahoma here. We can switch radars. Big Hook in the eastern Texas Panhandle, north of Wellington. Tornado warning on that. That's going to go to Eric. Marty Logan's right there. Hey, Justin. Hey, Corey. Marty's not up. And again, Hook here developing. Tornado possibly with that southwest of Marty. And then also possible tornado with that storm there. Tornado down here coming out of Childress going to Hollis. So multiple storms with multiple tornado warnings on it as the atmosphere is truly beginning to unfold right now. Okay, so there's Alan coming in from the east. I see Alan shot. Alan's coming in from the east. We'll get Marty Logan back in it. We'll check in with him on the storms out west. And let's jump in here, guys. Let's jump into Eric in Elk City, all of our friends and family out here.
Let you know the boundary is now north, or has come south. Eric has a north wind and 58 degrees.
Eric has a north wind, that's so key, and 58 degrees. So it's again, it's too cool. It's cool. Now, if the boundary lifts north, that'll change things. The boundary is running right in here. Everything up here, it's too cool. But on the boundary, you can still get a tornado. But look at the hook on that. So you folks at Eric and Texola, you're still south of the boundary. You need to go to your safe spot. You need to go to your safe spot right now. This is going to be for Ellis, Roger Mills. We have Beckham, western, southwestern Beckham County. If you live in Eric, Texola, down Highway 30, you got to get your safe spot. We'll get Marty Logan back in here. And let's go to Marty Logan and get an update. I know his shot's not up, control room. I'm aware, but I want to hear him talk. Let's go to Marty Logan. We'll stay on the radar. Let's go to Marty Logan out west. Marty, give me an update. What you see back to your southwest. Give me an update. We're trying to get your stream back up. Go ahead.
Yeah, that we're in a very bad cell area. I've dropped like 3 times. We have a rain-free base off to our west, right on the Oklahoma-Texas line. We got south of the boundary. We warmed up to 67 from 55. So it's going to be right here. We're real close to it. This is very hilly country. We're going to keep maneuvering and see if I can get some cell strength off of it.
Okay, all right. Great job there, Marty. Stay with it. We'll get your stream back up here. And Marty Logan is here. Look at the hook coming across the line. Let's go to shear rate on this and see what it's doing here, guys. Let's go to shear rate. Anything crazy? Yeah, that's pretty ramped up. But again, Eric, you said Eric Lacey has a north wind at 58?
North wind, yep, 58 degrees.
That's going to be too cool. It's going to be south of Eric, where Marty is. Okay, let's go to Marty Logan shot. Let's look at the hook. Here it is. Let's go to Marty Logan shot, control room. Let's go back to Marty. Marty, there it is. Your shot's up. And I don't see a tornado, but what do you think? What do you see when you look back in there? Give us a quick update.
Well, while we've been sitting here, now we're getting a north wind, so we're going to have to drop south some more. We're still 67 degrees. So we're right on the boundary. We're right in the right place. We're hunting hard, but we haven't found it yet.
Yeah, just a few more minutes. Okay. All right, Marty, stay with it here. Again, this is that leading edge coming out of Texas, coming into Oklahoma, and this whole area is spinning. This is a mesocyclone, and you can see the motion in that right now. But as you can see, that's from Marty Logan. No tornado on the ground.
And the official tornado warning just came out for Marty's storm.
Yeah, tornado warning now. This is going to be for Beckham County, right where Marty is. Okay, let's go back to Logan County. Let's go back to Logan County, get an update on our Logan County storm. And let's go back to Links 3 and check in with the storms up north with Val and Jim. This is the one that's produced multiple tornadoes. Let's go into Jim Gardner and get an update. Then we'll go to Val. Let's go to Jim. And Jim is a little farther south of it here. It still is a supercell. It's still a dangerous storm. Low hugging. Tree hugging, nearly a ground hugging wall cloud right now. And Jim, is a tornado on the ground right now? It looks to me like it has lifted, and also that storm might be encountering some of that cooler air now, as it might be trying to pull in some cooler air from the north. It's almost going to get itself in trouble if it keeps moving north, but we're still tracking it here. Give me an update on what you think.
Has moved into this colder air, so it is basically just kind of turning into scud, but that wall cloud's been sitting on the ground. Man, you can't even see any daylight in between the horizon, the ground and the cloud, but it's not spinning like it was, David. It is totally kind of collapsing now. We can pan around to the right here. We're starting to move in, and you just kind of see this whole line here is kind of getting ragged. A lot of scud hanging around, but nothing like the rotation we had minutes ago, David. So again, the street scope showing me on Kelly and County Road 62. So again, we'll keep tracking it, David, but it looks like we may have finally reached the end here. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Mills, Scott News 9, back to you.
Well, we hope so, Jim, but I tell you what, we're going to track it here a little bit longer. The tornado warning does continue, and that's for a good reason, because it's produced multiple tornadoes. I'm looking at Jim's shot here. He's just like you are. I've got another big bunch of screens over here I'm looking at just to make sure. I see condensate. It's tree-hugging condensate, but it's not tornado condensate. There's a big difference. Okay, let's go to Val Castor. Val's on the ground. Get an update from Val. And he's just to the south and west of it. Val, it's been putting on quite a show with multiple tornadoes, 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time. But right now, Val Castor looks like it might have lifted. But I'll tell you this, the rotation, though, Val, is still pretty strong. It still has some pretty strong rotation with it now. Now moving out of Logan County into southeastern Garvin and southwestern Noble County. Go ahead, Val. Give us an update.
Yeah, that's right, David. Just a little bit earlier, we had 2 rotations at the same time. We had debris being lifted with the south, and we had a growing funnel on the north side. We think that the north funnel also touched down. But I'm telling you, I think the further north it goes, we're noticing it's getting cooler up here. And so I really think this thing is starting to interact with the colder air. So I'm almost detecting that the bases might be rising just a little bit from what they were earlier. It's kind of what we're noticing here. So we're not seeing as crazy of a motion as we see. There still is rotation up above, but we're just not seeing it concentrated near the surface anymore, David.
Yeah, and that's great news. We need those bases to get higher, Val. You know that, and I know that. The bases get higher, that tornado threat lessens. We need the bases to get higher and higher and higher and just produce some rain, a little hail. That's what we need. But right now, it does not look as impressive as it did.
Oh, yeah, it just came down big time on shear rate, too.
Yeah, it's definitely weakening. It's hitting the boundary. It's what we've been talking about all day long. If you've been watching us, we've been saying it's hitting the boundary, and it's weakening. It's weakening right now. As far as the rotation, okay, it's still going to produce some flooding, heavy rain, but the rotation is weakening right now. Let me show you what it was doing. Let me show you what it did for about 45 minutes off and on with multiple tornadoes on the ground. We had 2 on the ground at the same time. There was one of those. This whole thing began with the cone hanging down, and we were jumping up and down about this. This thing came out of showers. It developed out of showers when it was back in Canadian County, went right over just west, and basically right over El Reno, and then went to the north, and again, it just continued to get stronger and stronger. There's the tornado on the ground going through the trees. You can see what looks like fog to you. That is water vapor. The pressure inside the tornado cone itself is to the ground. It's invisible, and as it gets stronger, it starts to fill in with condensate from the strength of the tornado getting stronger and from debris, whether it's leaves or homes or dust. Right now, this is at that time, it was a fairly weak tornado. That would go down as a low end, an EF1 tornado, right? This is a weak tornado, but there's a cone. And then we had that tornado on the ground, and we had that tornado on the ground live when it was just 5 miles northwest of Crescent. Look at that. Boom. That's what was going on northwest of Crescent. It was putting on quite a severe weather show. But again, that is not a violent tornado. We like, if we're going to have tornadoes, these are the ones we want, right? We want these. We want the small and weak tornadoes. We don't want the big, bad, and the ugly ones. There it is again. It was on the ground there. Okay. Look at that. Little vortice there moving across the field. Look at the horizontal tube. Yeah, it's classic. Classic, classic, classic. Okay. Let's go back to our trackers here. Look at that. Look at the motion in that. That was about half an hour ago. Okay, let's go to Link 3, give you the big view. And Greg, I know what you're going to ask me, and let's go ahead and do that. Make the call. Do it. Yep, go ahead. Yep.
There are 4 tornado warnings right now, David.
Okay, so this is the big view. Now, Oklahoma City. Now, we were talking about this earlier when we started our coverage several hours ago, that it looked like we were going to get supercells developing in the metro. Well, we did. We had one, right? And that's the one that produced the multiple tornadoes from Canadian into Kingfisher and Logan County. All right? But we've not had any other storms developing, and none are developing right now to the south or southwest of Oklahoma City. That's great. That's great. There's nothing coming towards the metro right now, okay? So if you live in Oklahoma City and you're wigging out, and you're stressed out, and you've had enough, it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing coming towards Oklahoma City. It's all out to the west and the north and the southwest. Now, it's a mess in here. We've got tornado warnings flying. So right now we've got a tornado warning now for Harmon County. We've got a tornado warning for Beckham County. Marty's on that. Allen's on that. Bobby Payne's on the severe storm there. We've got to get Yeah, Val's on that, and we'll see what that does. And then, hey, Justin, plans on the Watonga? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's not that far. Okay. Yeah, get him west. Get him west. Okay. So our tornadic storm is now moving to the north. Darren Stevens is on that. Now, do we have Darren's shot brought into?
He's down at the moment.
Okay. Control room and engineers and. Okay, I don't see it back here, and we had it.
It's his shot is down. His shot is down at the moment.
Darren's shot is down, I'm being told. Okay, I'm being told something different. So we need to figure out here. I know we've got all of our trackers out today coming in on multiple sources, right? Channel 9 trackers, Channel 6 trackers in Tulsa, our sister station. We brought in everybody. We've got grandma on this whole thing too. We've thrown in everything on this. So okay, so the flashing counties, tornado warning now, and we'll find Darren Stevens. He's in on that. That's the one that Val and Jim have been on. Okay, we're still watching it, and we're not leaving you. We're going to get back to that in just a second, but it has weakened. It's weakened quite a bit in the last 10 minutes. It's weakened a lot coming into Noble County because it's getting up on the boundary, and it's too cool. You get too far north into this line, and it's too cool in here. It's too cool for tornadoes. If they hug the line, right? But here's the deal. If the line gets farther south and east throughout the afternoon and evening, it's still going to be capable of producing tornadoes. And then we also have to worry, it's kind of a double-edged sword, for storms to develop away from this line, like over central and south central Oklahoma, that might come into the metro, that might develop and come back into Oklahoma City from the southwest. Any new data? Have you seen anything new on that?
It still looks like we get several supercells in southwestern Oklahoma, and then the line comes through late this evening. Okay, so it's now no data is painting. For us, it's more of a line coming through. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, big cores within it, still big nasty. Yeah, storms coming in, but they're not discrete. Okay, so right now, folks, here's what's good. Some of the data, and again, this is not locked in because it can certainly change, is saying some of the model data that we use that we try to stay storm-free for the next several hours until eventually the line out west gets here this evening. We're still going to have a tornado threat with the line as it comes into Oklahoma City. Okay, that's still going to be there. But we're still, again, talking about Oklahoma City, at least for the time being, nothing developing overhead and nothing headed our way out of Chickasha or Grady, Caddo counties, okay? So that's good news for us for now, but we still have to get through this. Okay, let's go to southwestern Oklahoma, and let's check in with Alan Brosey and get an update from Alan. And this is a tornado-warned storm coming out of Texas. And let's see what we have here. Alan. And Alan is moving along here. He's closing in hard and fast. This tornado, by the way, is it confirmed in Texas? Do we know that? Do we know if that tornado is confirmed? Let's go to Alan Brosey. There's Alan. There's the hook. Okay, that's going into Oklahoma. Let's go to Alan and get a quick update. And yeah, Alan Brosey, what do you think? Again, the tornado is still going to be in Texas, but it's coming into Oklahoma. Give me an update as you look off to your west and to your southwest. Go ahead, Alan.
Okay, David, we're westbound now. We dropped south from Gould, Oklahoma, because we could see the storm. We had to punch through a little bit of the rain core. No hail with it yet. The hail's back to our west now. We'll probably experience a little bit of that. Have not seen the lowering yet, but it's just a few miles ahead of as soon as we break out of the rain. I suspect it'll be here. It's coming into Oklahoma for sure. Thank you, David. Yeah, no doubt about it, Alan. And we need to pay close attention to this. The atmosphere down there is certainly prime in southwestern Oklahoma, where Alan Brosey is. So that's Alan's shot. It's kind of locked up here, but he is on his way to that storm. He's almost there. Let's go back to Link 3. Let me show you what it looks like. And by the way, for our partners in radio, we are live right now on News Talk 1520 KOKC. That's AM. Okay? 1520 KOKC AM. We're on there right now. And if we get into the other stations, if they start to pick us up, I'll let you know about them. But, okay, so there's a big supercell in the southwest. Alan's right there. There's the hook. Justin, Alan's going west, still moving. Okay, his shot's locked up. But he's going west, and he's going to catch the tornado right here. Let's go to shear rate. Let's see what it looks like. Anything stands out on this. There it is. Oh, we've had two areas. How about that? We had the original.
Now we've got the second
Yeah,
area.
it was originally 2 big supercells that they're trying to merge.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll take it back just a little bit longer so you can see kind of what was going on.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. That storm's is it trying to shrink a little bit?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely going through something. We got to watch it. I mean, it's still tornado warned. It's all good, but we need to keep an eye on it. But it might be having some struggling issues right now. What's max route look like? Anything stand out that you're?
Just that same area where it's trying to reorganize to the southwest.
Okay. All right. I see Alan shot. Okay. Let's go back up the line now, and let's talk about the storms here where Marty Logan is. Let's check in with Marty. Look at the hook now, right over Marty. Hey, Justin. Marty stopped. He's going to have to get. Okay, so he's not where I think he is. Okay, let's go to Marty Logan, get an update, though. Control room, keep that up. Look at the hook on that. Now, you folks at Eric, let's go ahead. Marty Logan, give me an update. Big hook now, developing pretty close to you, right out your back door there. What do you think? Give me an update.
Yeah, what we're doing, we keep chasing this boundary to the south. Jake's seeing something right now. We're backing up, turning on. Do you have our shot? Is our shot up?
Well, it is, but wait, it appears to be frozen right now. No, we don't have your shot. Just go ahead and describe it to us. Radar's up. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so just off to our west, probably near the Oklahoma-Texas line, we're seeing some rising motion, a little bit of scud. We keep chasing the boundary to the south, south of the county line, probably on Highway 30, just north of Highway 9 is where we are right now. Nothing on the ground, nothing spinning.
He's going to run him over.
Oh, wait, right here. Yep, right in front of us. We do have a little bit of broad rotation. Just to our west. Nothing on the ground right now. We're watching it.
Okay, hey, Marty.
Just started seeing it. Yes.
Yeah, okay, here's the deal. You're going to have to, okay, your shot's coming back in. You're going to have to get back north, though, and get back up to I-40. I see your shot now. I see scud. Now, here's the deal. Hey, Justin Rudisell. Strongest rotation is north of Marty. Do you see that? Yes. Okay, we got to get him northbound and down right now. Marty, I want you to go north. I want you to get north, back up on I-40. This thing is going to Eric. It's going to try to go to Sayre. It's going to try to go to Sayre. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Okay, so let's go back to Links 3. I tell you what, Links 1. Lacey was talking about she's got the radar up and then the warm front on that, the boundary. Let's go to Links 1 control room and show you what I'm talking about here. And this is the warm front, right? So anything south of that, the atmosphere is very unstable, and it's unstable along the front. But once you get north of the front, literally 5-10 miles, the atmosphere is more stable here. So that's why you're thinking, why aren't we getting all these tornado warnings well up into northern and western Oklahoma? Well, we are, but it's along and south of the boundary. The downdrafts of the thunderstorms are riding down the boundary, right? And then the hooks, like my little finger here, are hugging the boundary. And that's why, for one thing, interesting earlier, I'll point this out. Remember the storm that came out of Canadian County, went into Kingfisher County, was moving due north, and then suddenly started to turn hard right? Well, you know why? Because they didn't want to go up in here. It wants to hug the boundary and stay along and stay as strong as it can. So it will follow that boundary, right? Doesn't always happen like that, but I've said it forever. These storms, they are alive. They are breathing. They want warm, moist air. That's their food supply. That's what they need. If they don't have that, they will weaken and they will die. And they don't want to do that, right? So they'll hug the boundary, and they'll keep their hooks where the updrafts are, running right through that boundary as long as they can. And then finally, they just can't anymore, and they go north. That's what's happened with the storm up north, with Darren's storm, which did produce multiple tornadoes. So lots of rain going on. We're going to have lots of flooding in northern Oklahoma. Are many of these counties under flash flood warnings already?
There are several, yeah.
Yeah. Again, folks, another big story. I know we're talking about the tornado threat today, but there's going to be a ton of water, and there's going to be a lot of flooding, and there's going to be people who want to drive into water. Don't do it. Turn around. Don't drown. Don't do it. Simply go the other way. If you're home, you think you got to get out, fine. Do whatever. But if there's water over the road, that bridge or that tin horn or that low water bridge or whatever could be gone. It could be wiped out, and you drive over water thinking your road is still there, and it's not. You plop into a hole, and it's good night Katrina, right? So don't drive into water. And this is going to be another problem we have this evening and into tonight. Okay, so tornado warning now for Noble County, tornado warning for Blaine County, tornado warning for Beckham County, and tornado warning for Harmon County. 4 tornado warnings right now to the north of Oklahoma City, to the west of Oklahoma City, and to the southwest of Oklahoma City. I'm looking at Alan's shot. He's almost into view of the mesocyclone, and we'll get a good picture of that. We'll get a good picture of that. Okay, let's go up north now. Do we have Darren Stevens' shot? We do, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Do we have Darren in the Gettner? Yep. Let's go to Darren Stevens. He's on the Noble County storm, which was the Canadian Kingfisher, Logan County tornado. Let's go to Darren. Let's bring his shot in control room. They're telling me they don't have it.
Yeah, 123.
What? 123, I'm being told.
Yeah, we're looking at it. We have it.
Okay, well, she's telling me we don't. We have 124.
Let's take it.
Let's take it. Let's take 124.
That's Darren.
That's Darren. Let's take it. There it is. Darren, we have your shot up, and that storm has produced multiple tornadoes. Go ahead. Give me an update on what you're seeing right there coming in from the northwest. Okay. Well, we've lost him. Okay, let's come back to what's going on right now. Links 3, Jason, will you take care of that? Okay. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's go to Links 3. And again, this is that storm that Darren's on right here. This is the one that's produced multiple tornadoes, okay, that's moving up through. It's now left Logan County. It's coming into Perry. There's the hook in Perry. Tornado warning for Perry, and then from up north here. And Darren's right there. We have to get Darren. Is he in the line? Okay, I want to talk to Darren. Bring up Darren. Don't worry about his shot. I don't care about his shot. Just bring up his voice. Let's go to Darren. Darren, give me an update on what you're seeing with that rotating wall cloud. It looks like it might have weakened some. Go ahead, Darren. There's no audio. Okay. We'll figure that out. Corey, won't you handle that, please? Okay, we cannot hear Darren. I can hear him, but I can't hear him. One of those kind of deals. All right. Well, Darren is there. The circulation, notice how we ramped back up to that red. It was pretty intense right there, and now it's not as strong as what it was. So we'll do a storm track on that too. That's going from just west of Perry. It's going to Red Rock. Here's the good news about this. It's below and behind the front. It's behind the front. So that tornado threat's going to be lower. Do we have Darren back in the system? Pardon me? Do we have Darren? I know we have his shot, but can I talk to him?
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's go to Darren. We're going to take his shot. He's in Perry. Darren Stevens, give me an update. Go ahead, Darren. Take it. Go ahead. What do you see?
Hey, David, the area of circulation is passing just to the west side of Perry right now. But the good news is this thing is racing towards the north side of that boundary. We're sitting here in 58-degree dew points according to our anemometer here. And so it's moving into an environment that's less favorable for tornadoes. Now, this thing has got a really good circulation to it, but no funnels, no tornadoes or anything like that right now, Dave. We've got a good eye on this, and any changes, we'll report them immediately to you. Back to you.
All right, there we go. Great job there, Darren Stevens. Now, remember Darren, he's chased for us many, many times. He's one of us, but he's from our sister station in Tulsa, and he's chased countless tornadoes over the years, a veteran chaser. So we've got Darren Stevens in the mix. Like I said, we doubled our resources on trackers and our choppers today. 2 choppers and the largest, by far, team of trackers in the entire nation out doing what they do today. So we have doubled everything up to let you see every one of these storms and exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what's happened so far today.
David,
a
track is ready on Links 4 for that storm Darren's on.
Okay, let's do that. Let's go to Links 4. And there it is. There's the rotation now. It's going to be just northwest of Perry. Okay, it's going to Red Rock at 443. And every year we have to bring it back in the mix. I know, a little bit of Paradise Casino. I know. I got to get there someday. 7 Clans, Paradise Casino. There's another one. And then I'm talking about Sooner Lake. All right? So it's just northwest of Perry, area of circulation. And again, it's headed to the northeast. Moreland, I tell you what, we probably need to put Moreland in the box just to be safe. Moreland at 452, yeah. Let's go to Allen. Okay, but no tornado on the ground north of Perry. Strong rotation. Darren is there. Let's go to Alan Brosey. And Alan, what do you think? Is it on the ground? Do you see a funnel? Give me an update in southwestern Oklahoma, down in Harmon County.
We've got a funnel about halfway to the ground. This is south of Hollis, Oklahoma, probably 3 or 4 or 5 miles. Let me double check that. It may be 6 miles. And we've got rising motion in it. Okay, the funnel is still there, but it's trying to lift. We've had a funnel on this off and on for the last 6 or 7 minutes as this moves north into the Hollis area. David, back to you.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's a southwestern Oklahoma storm. That's the Hollis storm down here. Alan is south of Hollis. This is Harmon County. These are what we call tags now, and these will sometimes. This is the wall cloud. These are the tags hanging down. Remember the mesocyclone. Nothing. I mean, from the base of the cloud upwards. Okay, the mesocyclone is from the base of the clouds all the way up, and it's spinning. It's spinning above their heads right now. This whole area is spinning, thousands of feet. Miles up it's spinning. And as it gets tighter and tighter and faster, things will begin to happen. The base of the cloud or the thunderstorm will try to reach down towards the ground. That's the form of the tags. And if those get tighter and the circulation gets stronger, then we get a funnel. And then if it touches the ground, we get a tornado. But you can see these tags here hanging out. No tornado on the ground. Let's go to Links 3, and let's talk about the areas of circulation that we have. Again, we've got the tornado warning going on for Beckham County. Justin, what's Marty doing right now? Yeah.
He's heading north right now.
Okay, why is he so far south?
Because he's in middle 50-degree air with a north wind.
Right there?
So we were going down to the boundary. So those storms are well north of the boundary. So. Yeah.
Okay, I'm showing him down in Harmon County.
His GPS, because of just a bad cell phone connection.
Okay, he's farther north.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Thanks for the heart attack. I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
It's north of the boundary, and then the hook quickly starts to erode away.
Yeah, and that's a great thing because the hook went right over Eric. Let's go. Well, look right here. See the hook? See how impressive it is? And then it gets up here and it just kind of gets mushed into it. And that's because it's riding that cold front's right here, that warm front. It's so cool behind it that if the front weren't there today, we would have all kinds of problems with these storms to our west and northwest. We've already had enough problems, but this thing is hitting this cool, stable air. It's still going to be severe. It's still going to produce large hail, damaging winds, absolutely. But again, it's running into the cooler air, the more stable air, and when it does that, it weakens. So bring it on. Well, hopefully this will just continue throughout the afternoon. We won't have to worry about it, but we have a lot of unstable air still left south of this boundary. I-40 south, the air is very unstable. Very unstable. Holler if anybody has anything. Okay, I'm looking at Alan's shot. Let's go back into, by the way, there's some big hail in here.
Possible funnel cloud that Alan's trying to look at real closely.
Okay, all right. Holler if he gets anything with that. We might go back to him just a second. So big hail near Mayfield, southwest of Berlin, southeast of Sweetwater. What does he have?
He has a possible tornado on the ground.
All right, let's go. Let's go back to Alan. Go back to Alan. Go back to Alan Brosey. Take his shot. Alan, you're on.
Okay.
Is a tornado on the ground?
Yes, it was on the ground close to the Hollis area, maybe just slightly to the southeast.
There it is.
We're in deep mud. I've got, it's rapping and rain right now. I've got Earl holding the camera, looking out the window through the side here. We're trying to get out of the mud and get back to the pavement and get up under it. But it's straight north of us right now, probably a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Straight north of my GPS location, David.
Okay, Alan, how close is the tornado to you? To your southwest, about 2 miles?
North.
No. It's straight north of us, a mile.
Oh, straight north of you.
Straight north of us.
Okay, so you're driving north. You're looking back to your west.
No, we are driving to the east, trying to get out of this mud.
Okay.
I've got a concrete road coming up here. We're going to get back on it and head north.
Okay.
But it's straight north of us.
Okay, so can you see the tornado on the ground right now?
Okay. It's rain wrapped right now, David. We had it on the ground. Pretty positive it was on the ground. It was 3/4 of the way down.
Okay, who has power flashes? Okay. All right, Alan, get back to your road. Stay in place, but keep moving. Keep moving. Okay, Alan's going to get back to a better road, and he'll get back in position here. So there it is. And he's looking off to his north. We'll look back to his southwest. Guys, you guys see this down here? We have 2 areas of circulation.
And that was Darren. I was talking to Darren. Power flashes north of Perry.
Okay. All right. We'll go back to Darren here. Okay. So tornado warning for Harmon County. Area of circulation there. Alan thought this produced a tornado just a few minutes ago. Alan thinks that this produced a tornado just a few minutes ago, south and east of Hollis. And that's with that area of circulation. And then we have the new hook back to his southwest. Guys, Justin, the new meso is getting stronger behind him.
New warning for Jackson, too. It's coming east.
Yeah.
Includes portions of Jackson, almost to Duke.
Well, yeah, we'll see. It's going to have to really work hard to get into.
Yeah, if it turns right.
Darren just saw his next another power flash.
Okay, let's go back to Darren Stevens. Control room, let's take Darren's shot. Possible tornado on the ground. Let's go back to Darren Stevens. And Darren, give me an update. Rotation continues to be strong with that storm. It's going up and down, but give me an update on what you've seen here. If you've got power flashes, then we've got a tornado, we've got problems. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, that's right. I believe we're in an uptick cycle with this storm. Right now we're on 77 north of Perry right now. We just crossed Black Bear Creek for the locals here. That's our general reference. But we've seen 2 power flashes in the past few moments right on Highway 77. So that tells us that the circulation is near the ground. We have not seen any power poles or anything like that down yet, but the local police, highway patrol, and fire are all out here. If we see any damage, we'll report it. Back to you, David.
All right, great job there, Darren. So once again, Darren is going to be north of Perry, about 6 miles. Power flashes, possible tornado, and you can see what's going on. They're got the road blocked here, but Darren will get through that. But this is where that circulation is, and he's headed northbound. It's right in front of him. But man, this is what the problem is when you get north of that boundary. It looks like this.
Red Rock has a southeast wind, David, and it's 63 degrees.
63. That's a little warmer. Okay.
So it might try. Is it trying to lift to the north just a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. If it gets warmer than that, we'll have to really start paying attention, farther up into northern Oklahoma. Okay, so let's go back to reflectivity. Let's go back to Lynx 3 and take a look at it here. This is the tornado warning. It continues for Red Rock. We'll do a storm track on that. It's going to head up towards, like we said, Moreland, Seven Clans, Casino. Remember, this storm is the one that produced multiple tornadoes about an hour ago. And it was on the ground for 45 minutes. We had 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time. We brought those to you live. And area of circulation now is right here. Right here. We're going right up 177. Right up 177. You can see the storm, what we call helicity track, or the shear tracks where the spin is, and you can see that. And there's where it is. There's where the circulation has been, and this was all tornado in here. This was all tornado on the ground in here for sure. Okay, so there it is. Darren's on it. We'll do a storm track. Let's go to Lynx 4. Red Rock at 447. Red Rock 447. A little bit of Paradise Casino 454, 455. So if you live around these areas, same old story, folks. Center part of the house, lowest level, right? We got to get to that safe spot, okay? And we've got power flashes being reported by Darren Stevens on Highway 77. Now north of Perry here, a pretty good distance, south of Sears, and southeast of Billings. See the inflow notch right here? That's the inflow notch. That's what Darren Stevens is looking at. Okay, so tornado warning continues for you folks in Noble County. Let's back out here just a bit, get our bearing straight. You know where it's going from there? It's going to southeastern K County. So Moreland, maybe Ponca City. You folks in Ponca City, you need to watch this. It's going to go right up and over you. It's really going to try to come right overhead in Ponca City. Even though you're not as unstable and your temperatures are a lot cooler, it's going to go up and over and on top of Ponca City. There's the hook. It's a little dirty. It's a little muddy. Darren Stevens is right there, and he's going to keep tracking it north. Okay, let's go back down the line, talking about our Blaine County situation. What's that storm look like now? Is it, what's it look like?
It looks well north of the boundary.
Okay, no longer tornadic?
No, it's no longer tornadic.
Yeah.
Sirens and Sayre.
What's that?
Sirens and Sayre.
Sirens and Sayre blowing.
Yeah, that tornado warning still continues down there.
Yeah, and we'll go back to that. Okay, so the tornado warning we had earlier for Blaine County is now gone. That storm has weakened. You know why? It got north of the boundary. It got in the cool air, so that's good news. We need to stay there. Just stay there and die there, right? But we got to watch these storms that are either on or just south of the boundary. Okay, let's get into southwestern Oklahoma. And again, Elk City, Sayre. Elk City, Sayre. Sirens are blowing. Looking at Allen's shot. And we'll go to Allen here in just a second. Marty is getting back in position. Bobby Payne coming in from the east. And I'm looking at Marty Logan's shot. But right now, you folks in Sayre, tornado warning for you. Is it still in the 50s in Sayre?
It is. It is 56 degrees.
Yeah.
54 in Elk City.
So cool. That's too cool. On a day like today. That's too cool. It's not cool enough that you won't have large hail and damaging winds, golf ball size hail, and maybe larger winds 70 miles an hour, but it's just too cool. The updrafts they can't live on that. They can't live on that. Okay, so tornado warning, though, officially does continue for, again, Sayre up towards Elk City. But the circulation, it's north of the boundary. As long as it stays there, it's going to be a wind and hail threat with a very, very low tornado threat. But if I live in Elk City, you folks in Elk City, I know you're watching, and we appreciate that, but you need to be watching this thing to the southwest, right? We all need to be watching this coming in. Now, Lacey, give me an update on the wind right now in like Bessie or Cordell.
Bessie has a north wind at 25. It's 55 degrees.
Is that right? Well, that's changed.
Weatherford has a north wind, 20 miles per hour. It's 57.
Okay.
So Hinton has a south wind.
Hinton has a south wind.
Yes.
While Weatherford has a north wind at 25.
Yeah, that's the boundary right there.
Yeah. So from about Hinton back down to Vinson, give or take, is where the boundary is.
Eric's wind just now came around out of the south, maybe some type of an influence by that storm,
yeah,
but
right.
It's light south. It's still 56 degrees.
Okay. So, yeah, the boundary is the front, which is the difference between tornadic storms and no tornadic storms, is running now pretty close to Sayre. Pretty close to Sayre.
And Matt was just telling me the tornado warning in Noble County has been allowed to expire. So the only tornado warnings we have are the one tornado warning in Harmon County.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to Alan and get an update from Alan Brosey. Alan Brosey's making his way back around here. And we'll get an update from Alan. Alan, your storm continues to be strong. Big isolated supercell down there all by itself. What do you think? Give me an update on the rotation right now.
Yeah, David, we have a lowering off to my left here, which is north. We're headed east to get back on pavement and get north back ahead of it. And we can do that. But right now that storm does have a lowering. It's had a couple of tornadoes, and you'll have to bear with me on the noise here. This road is pretty full of rocks and holes. But, yeah, the lowering is still there, David. It looks like it's about, 4 miles north of us now at least, and it's getting rain-wrapped. So we're going to have to get north, get back under it. Back to you.
Also, Jim, also, Alan, we have the other area of showers coming in from the south. We'll see what that does when it gets there, but there's another pocket of some showers coming in from your south, and that sometimes can ramp things up or it can bring things down. It kind of goes either way, but often it will kind of energize a storm system. Let's go back to Links 3 and to take a look and go to shear rate if we can. There it is, and there's the area of spin. It's to Alan's north. Let's keep him going north. Yeah, and let's go back to reflectivity, and there's the hook. Right there, keep him out ahead of it.
Will be coming in from the north.
And there's the area, there's the hook right here. Clearly see it, right? And it's headed up towards Gould. It's headed up right now. It's going to go on and west of Gould. Okay, what's Alan saying?
That's Darren.
Okay, what's Darren's shot look like? I'm looking at it. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Does he have a funnel? Okay, we'll go back to him in just a second. Okay, so southwestern Oklahoma, this is the only tornado warning we have in effect right now. Big supercell, big hook. Alan Brosey's looking right at it. It's right out his window. Rotation, yes. And that's his shot right there. That's his shot. He's so close to it. It's really so close to the car. It's kind of... Okay, and Jen is telling me that, that on Facebook, sirens are going off in Hennessy now. Okay, so let's go. I want to point out this storm, little shower here over Lewis is coming in from the south. We'll see what that does when it comes into the hook. But there's the hook, southwest of Gould. Okay, Okay, let's do a storm track on that. Cassie, you've got one up. Let's go to Links 4. And Links 4 control room. And there's the storm track on the hook. This is still capable of some large hail, quarter golf ball. Might be some tennis ball size hail in that, but for sure quarters and maybe some golf balls. Moving northeast. Mangum at 518. Willow 532. Lone Wolf 543. And Hobart at about 557. Okay, Hobart at about 6 o'clock. Sentinel 6 o'clock. Rocky 606. And Canute 615. Foss at about 623. And the Water Zoo Park in Clinton at about 636. Still a long ways away from there. But nonetheless, you can see the shape here. We call that the Screaming Eagle. There are the wings of the eagle, and there's the beak, right? And we say this often, you don't want to be where the beak is. It's never good. That's the hook. But it looks like a Screaming Eagle slamming into the southwest, right? With the wings back, and it's never a good sign to see, that's for sure. But that's a big storm down there. That thing's in excess of 50,000 feet up. That is a big storm. And there's your timelines again. Mangum, 518. Sentinel, 559. Retrop, 549. Rocky, we've been talking about Rocky too much lately, the last couple of weeks. Rocky at 606, where you had the tornado, the week before last in Rocky, just north of Hobart. So, okay, that's what's going on. We got that storm covered. Alan Brosey is right there. Let's come back north, and let's go back to Links 3 and show you some of the, it's a good idea. They're showing the rainfall totals here, and these are just today. These are this afternoon. What is this, 3 inches, 2 to 3? Yeah, a couple of 4-inch totals in there.
We'll get you here.
Yeah.
3.
Would you guys, Lacey, go ahead and take that
okay.
just for a second.
Yeah, we're still looking at the flooding because these storms, a lot of them have kind of been training over the same area. So these are flash flood warnings basically all up and down this area from Fairview to Enid to Billings, back up to Newkirk, including Medford, back down to Leedy and Cheyenne, anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 to locally 4 inches of rain. And it's still kind of training over that same zone. Somewhere up in here, it is very, very possible that we end up getting totals closer to 6, 7, even 8 inches by the time this whole thing is said and done. No one wants to see that. That is way too much water, but that's definitely possible. So that's what we've seen so far over just the last few hours that this has been going on. So I'm going to turn reflectivity back on. Go ahead, Cassie.
Lacey, talking about the flooding, we did have that report of the flash flood. Floodwaters over Highway 11, that's 4 miles east of Medford up there in Grant County.
Makes sense.
And also on Links 4, we've got a picture. We've been getting pictures being sent in from viewers of some flooding going on. And so obviously the flooding is starting to pick up a little bit more. That's up there in Fairview. So the water is definitely going to be a problem. We still have a lot more to go.
Yeah, this is just getting started. I mean, because really we've had this go through. They were all kind of isolated storms. Now it's just this cluster of storms north of the boundary. The rainfall rates are very, very high. And we still have that second round of a line of thunderstorms that'll develop southwest. And that's going to be a big rainmaker tonight.
Yeah, and some of the totals on the models, are they still giving us just
Let me check.
Tremendous
yeah, I
amounts
haven't
of
looked
rain.
in the last couple hours.
I know. Okay, wow, look at the hook down there on that thing in southwest Oklahoma. So once again, right now, these are all, let's point out here, these are all flash flood warnings to the north and west of Oklahoma City. All right, and then we have the one tornado warning in Harmon County. That's the only tornado warning we have right now. Am I right on that? There's a lot going on. Yes. That's the only warning that we have. That's for Harmon County, and for good reason. It's a big storm. Okay, let's go back down here again. Then we're going to work this line, and we'll check in with our trackers coming up. Let's go back down to southwestern Oklahoma and zoom on in. Let's go to Links 3. And let me show you what I'm talking about on Links 3. This is the storm. Supercell, isolated by itself, big hook. Alan's right there looking right at it. And Alan is, yeah, he's right there. Tom and Rob are coming in from the north. That's a good thing. And there's a circulation. Okay.
Yeah, it's getting much more of an easterly shove than the storms have so far today.
Yeah, it did. It's going to clip. Is it going to go into Jackson County?
It'll be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to have to work at it, but it's going to be close. Circulation, again, just north of Highway 62. Let's go ahead and go a little bit closer on the zoom here. Look at the hook on that, folks. Now, this is going to do something to it here. This is either going to ramp it up or ramp it down, if you will. But see the showers here coming in from the south? They've weakened some, but that's going to be some rain-cooled air that's going to try to come in from the south. And sometimes that can That can change things just a bit. But that's going to come in from the south. There's the hook now. Allen's going to get back up to Highway 62. And that's going to go to Russell. It's going to go to Mangum. It's going to go to Hester. Okay? So we need to watch it down here. If you folks are in southwestern Oklahoma, far northwestern Jackson County, and southwestern Greer County, tornado warning for you. This is going to go into Greer County, no doubt about it. Okay, so Justin, Allen's on the move, right? And we have Tom coming in from the north.
Yeah, Tom's going to go south.
Yeah, Justin, he stopped right now. Yeah, he needs to be southbound and down. Don't let it overrun him, but get him closer. Okay, another tornado warning out. I want to point this out near Memphis, Texas. Possible tornado with that. You know where that's going. That's going into Oklahoma. So Hollis, this one barely missed you as far as the tornado threat. The one out to your west, it definitely, we have to watch it. It's a big storm. Okay, let's come back up the line here. Let's go to Elk City and Sayre, talk about our friends out here. And here's I-40. That's a big storm there. Wow, that's a good-sized storm now. Coming into Elk City right now. Okay, that's well north of the boundary, though, right?
Let me double-check Elk City
Should
again.
be.
Yeah, Elk City still has a north wind. It's 54 degrees.
Okay, 54 degrees in Elk City?
Yes.
Okay, that's not going to produce a tornado. That's going to produce some wind and hail, for sure. And it is rotating. I want to point out, it is spinning, but it's all mid-levels. The ground temperatures, the surface temperatures are, again, they're in the 50s. It would have to go so hard and fast and tighten up so fast to be able to do that. And it would be rare. Okay, so it's behind the boundary. There's a strong area of rotation now moving through Elk City. We're watching it, but once again, it's behind the front. It's on the north side of the warm front, which is cold. Right? That's why this storm is not producing a tornado. If it hadn't done that, we'd have a tornado on the ground right now. We'd have a tornado on the ground. So that's what's going on. Okay, so supercell here, strong rotation, but I want to point out it's mid-level rotation, not surface. That's a good thing to have. Mid-level rotation just means damaging wind and hail, right? Low-level rotation, strong, yeah, we've got problems. Okay, so we've had that one storm that really put down kind of a swarm of tornadoes a couple of hours ago from Canadian County into Kingfisher and Logan County. That's gone. That storm, it's not gone, but it's weakened now, no longer tornadic, but it put on quite a show. Okay, let's zoom into the line here, guys. Let's stay with Lynx 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at these other storms here. Val's right here in Kingfisher. Let's go to Valcaster. And these storms are really lining out along this line. And we talked about this earlier. If they line out, that does limit that tornado threat as well. It can. That's a good thing. Valcaster, you've seen quite a lot here the last couple of hours. Now back down the line. And temperatures, again, behind the boundary are fairly chilly. And that's a good thing right now. It's keeping that tornado threat on the low side, at least on and behind the boundary. Give me an update as you go through Kingfisher.
Yeah, David, that's right. I mean, the front or the outflow boundary, whatever you want to call it, that's basically it's a line of cooler, much cooler air. We just passed through it just about 6 miles east of Kingfisher there. I have a feeling it's moving a little bit to the southeast, but any of these storms that go north of that boundary, the bases rise on them, and they start to lose their low-level rotation pretty quickly. So that is a good thing, and it is a limiting factor for tornadoes. It's really saving a lot of these areas in the far north. We just passed under an area of rotation, David, about 3 miles east of the boundary, and you could tell it was a weakening area. Basically, it was a leftover area with this storm, but that's pretty much gone now. We're going to go south, and we're going to try to get back south of the boundary and set ourselves up again, David.
Yeah, and Val, that's going to be the deal is, when they ride the boundary, with the hook still hanging south of the boundary, we're going to have problems. When they get well north, we're okay, but flooding is going to be a tremendous problem, obviously up north, and obviously that tornado threat will continue. So Val's going to ride the boundary, because any storm that develops on or near the boundary, he'll be right there looking right at it. We'll check back in with Jim coming up here in just a second. Okay, let's go to Lynx 3 and talk about the storms up north. No tornado warnings in effect. Lots of rain. Folks, we're going to have a lot of flooding up here. I can't say it enough. Possibly historic flooding, maybe, right? Big-time flooding. This is not going to end anytime soon. Any information on what the
yeah,
data?
just looking at the latest totals. It may be a little off on some of the data, but I mean the totals still through overnight tonight through early tomorrow morning, 5 to 6 to 10 inches of rain.
10 inches of rain.
Basically, where along that boundary. So from the northern sides of the metro all the way up into Enid and K County, which I mean, Call Lake's still what 20, 25 feet above normal.
Yeah, I mean we don't need any more rain, and we're going to have some major historic flooding when this is all said and done.
And with this now, David, right here where you were just talking close to the boundary, just north of Val. That little area of circulation is now tornado warned, just south and east of Enid. Okay.
Get my bearing straight here.
Here, I'll zoom out for you.
Okay. That's what that right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, he's in clear. Let's pull him northeast. Okay. Yeah, pull him up northeast, up towards Perry. Let's tell everybody. Justin, what's that? Are you good? Okay. Justin, you have Darren going back on that Enid storm? Darren, tornado warned storm in Garfield County? Okay. Let's just take a look at it here. This is a new tornado warning. Again, look where it is. It's south of the boundary. The hook is.
Just barely, but it is.
Barely. Yeah. I mean, we are splitting hairs here, literally. It's on the north side of the boundary. You get wind and hail and flooding. You get south of the boundary by a few miles, and you get a tornado threat. It's right here. It's going to be just south of Marshall. Okay, yep, there you go. So there's a rotation there. Pretty strong. And what about velocity on that? Does it look like anything at all?
Let's look at ours.
It's kind of messy.
Yeah, at the moment.
All the data is kind of messy right now. Lots of moisture in the atmosphere. Lots. Dew points are very, very, very high. So it just makes it a little more challenging when you're looking at radar and looking at different things that are going on. Okay, so so the tornado warning is going to be for you folks in Marshall, from there up to Lucien, up to Perry. Okay?
And it is moving 45, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, Perry. Okay, let's tell Darren Stevens. Justin, is Darren aware? Okay. Okay, Darren's coming back to the west. We're going to check in with Jim Gardner. He has refueled. He is ready to go. And again, this is the new tornado warning, which is right on the cold front or warm front. I keep saying that because truly it is lifting back north, but it's really stationary right now, and it is chilly behind it. But see this thing hanging out here? Tornado warning now for the storm in northern Logan County and southeastern Garfield County. Tornado warning for that. Okay, Cassie, we have a storm track. Let's go to Links 4. We'll take a look at it here, and there it is. Lucien at 510, Lake Perry 517, downtown Perry 522 with the tornado back to your southwest, possibly developing. It's going to go right over Perry. We're pretty close to it. It's going to be very, very close. Sears 532, Red Rock 536, a little bit of Paradise Casino 544, Moreland at about 544 as well, and Sooner Lake and at 545. A lot of folks fish on Sooner Lake, and it'll be there close to 545. All right, West Lake Ponca at 602. Still a ways away from that, but it's on the boundary. It's right here. Let's go to velocity data. Anything that sticks out? And are you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anything with shear rate? Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's right here, isn't it? It's still there. Okay, what's velocity data look like? Okay, what about shear rate? Anything? We're going through all of our tools here to. Yeah. Okay. Well, there it is. So tornado warning again, northern Logan County, southeastern Garfield County, and then from there it's going to where Darren Stevens is. And Darren has this thing coming in on him. It's going to be on him pretty fast. Pretty fast. Okay, let's go back down the line here, and let's check in with Jim Gardner. Let's bring in Jim Schott. Jim is right here, looking up at that area of circulation to his north. Jim Gardner, we have your shot up now. We're going to take your shot, and there's that area of spin, Jim. And it is rotating. It's just south of the front, which it is still open to breathe. The storm is. It is still alive and well as the mesocyclone is now south. Give me an update on what you think, Jim, looking off to your north there.
Well, that's right, David. We're just across the Cimarron River, kind of northeast, looking back at that. You'd see the gust front in front of it. We just flew around that, and there's a packet of pretty good wind out in front of this, but right now we don't see too much happening in there, Dave. We saw a couple little tags in there, but again, we're in a very good spot here to give you a good picture. Right now, nothing but maybe a heavy winds out in front of this and heavy rain, and we'll keep you updated. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9, back to you.
Okay, all right, great job there, Jim. Jim has seen a lot today. We'll get that video back up here in just a second, and I'll show you what we had going on earlier today when we had 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time. They were not violent tornadoes, but they were tornadoes. And Jen, when we get that video ready, just holler, and we'll take that. So this is Jim Gardner making his way on that northern storm. This is going to be for far northern Logan County into Noble County, going to Perry. It's going to Perry. It's going to Perry right now. Okay, let's take a look at the compilation video. This is of everything as far as tornadic today, and this was earlier. That storm is now well up into Noble County, and this is when the whole thing began to take off. We had the lowerings there, and this thing was really, really spinning, and we'll get this video going here, and it really began to ramp up, and there it is. There's your tornado. That was one of the many of the day several hours ago, and it was on the ground here. You can see, there you go. Now it's on the ground. You can see the condensate, and there is some debris in the air right here. There's the left and right side of the cone coming in right there, and this was earlier, 343 near Crescent. Okay, and there's the cone hanging down. It's kind of a ragged, weak tornado, but nonetheless, that was the tornado there. And then this area continues to spin, and then we got that. There's the tornado on the ground there. Right, there's clearly the cone, the condensate, mesocyclone above it, and we had that on the ground, and we had that on the ground live at the same time. 2 tornadoes. And again, they were fairly weak. They were not violent tornadoes, but look at there. The tornado on the ground, okay? That was at 354, again, near Crescent. Look at there, a little wisp, just water. And there's the other one. And that was on the ground at the same time. So that is a little nutty. You don't get that every storm. And there it is right there, snaking down, condensate. There you go, a little spin up there. Got some wind out ahead of it, but that's the tornado back there. A little vortice right there. So anyway, yeah, it's been an exciting afternoon so far, and we still have more severe weather to go.
Yeah, this one in southwestern Oklahoma has really started to come up some.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go back there. Let's go to Tom and Rob, too, by the way, and we're going to take their shot. Okay, look at the hail core is just on top of south of Reed. There's the hook over Russell. Alan Brosey's eastbound. He'll make the turn. Tom is right there. And I want to get an update from Tom looking off to a southwest. Tornado warning continues, again, from Mangum back down towards Russell. Tom Pastrano, you're coming in from the northeast. We have your shot up. Give me an update on what you see right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, right now I can see a lowering to our southwest. The lightning is definitely increasing with the storm. I don't see any funnels or any tornado on the ground, but there are quite a few hills down here and trees. Imagine that down here in southwest Oklahoma. But we are getting past that. I'll have a visual here shortly. Oh, yeah. So I can see there's a couple of tags, but there's nothing on the ground right now. Back to you, David.
Okay. All right. Great job there, Tom. Get a little closer to it. I'll get back with you. You're closing in hard and fast. Let's go to Alan Brosey. He is right there looking right at it. And let's go to Alan Brosey's shot. Same storm, different perspective, southwestern Oklahoma. There it is. We're watching this. Alan, it looks like it possibly is rotating. I know the mesocyclone is. Is that just hanging down and lifting, or is that actually lifting and turning?
No, it's lifting and turning, David, and it's starting to pick up. Just a few minutes ago, we didn't have hardly anything there, and now it's definitely lifting and turning. We are about a mile and a half north of DeQueen, which is west of Duke and east of Gould, looking towards the river channel. It will be going to Mangum area. We're going to have to try to get back out here. We've got 100 cars out here, 200 cars out here, chasers, making travel really tough. So these folks need to be really careful, especially if you decide to get out on the roads. Back to you, David.
All right, Alan, stay with it. There it is, folks. His shot's It's locked up. He's in southwestern Oklahoma. Sometimes the cell coverage is not as good. Well, not to mention today, by the way, our state has nearly doubled, I'm joking, but nearly doubled its population and size because of all the storm trackers that are here. We have a high risk of severe weather, a high risk of tornadoes, and people flying from all over the world and all over the country to come to Oklahoma to track this weather, right? So the roads are jam-packed, full of enthusiasts, people from around the globe. They're here. Universities are here tracking the severe weather. There are numerous chase crews here today. And again, our roads are packed jam full of storm trackers, right? So that's a problem. It can be a problem. Big hook developing once again.
Cassie has a track for you.
Yep, near Russell and just southwest of Mangum. It's going to go just about over Mangum. Yeah. Well, only thing is, I believe you. I got you, Jen. But Alan shot. You know what I mean? We're looking right at it. So it's not on the ground. We're looking at it. That's it right there. If it's on the ground, you'd see it. You'd see it when I'd see it. So that's it right there from Alan. All right. Well, if those guys get anything, there's Tom and Rob's shot. Okay, let's go back to Tom and Rob's shot real quick, and then we're going to get back north. Let's go back to Tom and Rob looking at the hook. Let's go back to this. This is live. There's a wall cloud. Oh, yeah. That's a little different looking. Tom, give me an update. Rotation, what do you think? Kind of describe what's going on there. Go ahead.
Yeah, right now I do see a lowering. There's actually a small funnel. You can see the funnel right there in my shot. There is a wall cloud, and there's rapid rotation. Actually, this funnel is getting better organized as we speak. It could be getting ready to do something. So people in Mangum really need to pay attention and take shelter. This is looking really, really ominous right now. There's a lot of motion in this wall cloud. There is a funnel. You see the funnel?
Yeah, we see it.
I'm just looking at Cassie's track. 517 in Mangum, 531 in Granite.
Okay, it's definitely getting stronger. Okay, folks, it's going to try to produce a tornado. Look at the motion here. This is not sped up. This is live. Tom, is that the funnel right there in the center? Tom, it looks like a funnel to me on the left side of the wall cloud. What do you think?
That's the funnel. It's really trying really hard to do something. I'd be really surprised if it doesn't do something here in the next couple of minutes.
Okay, all right. Okay, control room, just let's go back to the 3-box left. Let's keep Tom's shot up here. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, everything here is going from right to left. So the center of it, you got to figure out where the center of it is. It's right here. This is where it is right now. Oh, yeah. Look at the motion there. Hey, Tom, zoom in on that for me. Zoom in on that circulation here, folks at home. Watch this.
Okay.
Yep. Look at the motion, Tom. Look at the motion in there, Tom.
Yeah, it's pinwheeling. There's another funnel right there in the middle.
Yep.
And that funnel's halfway to the ground, and it's about to touch down.
Okay.
We got a tornado. Tornado's on the ground.
Tornado's on the ground. There it is. Tornado live on News 9. Wow, that happened fast. Tornado on the ground. Okay, tornado on the ground now in southwest Oklahoma. It'll move behind this pole. Clearly, condensate all the way to the ground. Tornado now on the ground.
Tornado's getting larger.
Yes, it is.
It's moving fast.
Yes, it is.
Really fast.
Yes, it is. Okay, so substantial tornado now on the ground. Tom's right there looking right at it. This is going to be
flying. It is moving so fast.
You know, the tornado's moving at 50 miles per hour. It's a dangerous. It's a dangerous tornado. Tom, be looking to your right. Be looking to your right for another one. I see debris. I'm not sure if that's a tornado or inflow, but you might have another tornado.
That's correct. It looks like there was another tornado trying to form.
Yes, it looked like I saw something to the right. Okay, so this is in southwestern Oklahoma right now. Folks, this is going to Mangum.
Wow.
It is 7.2 miles to the southwest of Mangum, and it's moving, got to be every bit of 50 to 55 miles an hour.
Okay, moving at 50-plus miles per hour, 7 miles southwest of Mangum. Okay, we've got problems. Tornado on the ground. Wow, look at the vortices around this thing. Ugh, makes me sick. Okay, we don't want to see this. Okay, multiple vortex, multiple vortices on the ground. Tom, zoom into that for me. Tom, zoom into the vortices for me. Zoom all the way in. Yeah, zoom in. I want to see these things here. I want to see what we're doing. Look at the vortices on the ground here. Look at that. Okay, so multiple vortex tornado on the ground. This is in southwestern Oklahoma. This is going to Mangum. It's going to Mangum. Tom, what do you think? Give me an update here. It looks like it's going to go to Mangum. Let's see. Is it going to miss Mangum?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not going to miss it by much if it is. You folks in Mangum, you got to go to your safe spots. You've got about 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes in Mangum to go to your safe spot. Tom, go ahead. Go.
The circulation is actually getting wider. There's a multiple vortex tornado on the ground from the original funnel, but if you look on the backside, the whole circulation is getting wider, and God, it's violent motion in there. We could be looking at a big tornado in the making here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we don't want. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Definitely getting bigger now. Yep, definitely getting bigger and wider.
Yeah.
And that circulation, like I said, it's really, really. This looks like a violent tornado, just about.
No doubt about it. Okay, this is becoming now a strong tornado. It's not quite reached violent tornado strength yet, but it's trying to go that way. This is a strong tornado live on the ground on News 9 in southwest Oklahoma. This is live on the ground. This is well into moving into Greer County. You folks in Mangum. And if you live west of Mangum, you've got to go to your safe spot. You've got to go now. Okay, let's keep Tom moving here. Let's keep him moving. I'm worried about Mangum. It's turning into a violent tornado. Look at the motion here. It's going from the strong tornado mode possibly into a violent tornado. Okay, let's keep him moving.
It's getting rain wrapped too as we speak.
All right,
so it's getting harder to see.
Yeah, just keep going north and try to get into Mangum here, Tom. Okay, so you saw the tornado live on the air. It just happened. Tornado on the ground. That is a strong tornado for sure. That is a strong tornado southwest of Mangum. Okay, look at the hook on this. Look at the hook. If you're new to Oklahoma, this is what it looks like. Let's go back to Links 3, control room. Tom is going to make his turnaround. Let's go back to Links 3, control room. Look at the hook. Mangum. 517 in Mangum. You've got like 2 minutes. You folks in Mangum you've got to get to your safe spot. And if you live in Mangum or just west of town, because it could make a turn. Go.
Of Perry now as well.
Okay, all right, let's go.
That's
okay.
Links 1.
Yeah, let's go to Links 1. Let's go to Links 1. We've got a tornado again up north. Jim Gardner has it. And Darren has it as well. Let's go to Darren Stevens. This is going to be at Orlando. This is right on the boundary. Let's go to Darren Stevens' shot. Take Darren Stevens' shot, control room. Another tornado on the ground. Control room. Take Darren Stevens' shot. Let's go to him. Darren, go ahead. Darren, give me an update. Tornado on the ground.
Yep, this is just west of Perry, David. It is racing to the east, due east. It is just about 2 miles to the west of the ball fields out here west of Perry. And another tornado is formed. We got tornadoes now, David. Right there, you see the rope right there is one. Just formed to the south of it.
Yeah, right here. Yep. Right here.
Around.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking
Power
about.
flashes right there. Power flashes. There's debris right there in the air.
Power flashes and debris.
It's west of 35th Street here on Perry. It's west of I-35.
Okay.
About a mile and a half west.
Okay, let's guys, give me a. Okay, Darren, are you in? Are you west of Perry?
He's west of Perry.
Yeah, you're west of Perry. Okay, so it's going to go on. Or just north and west of Perry, but we can't count on that. You folks in Perry have got to get to your safe spot because this storm is producing multiple tornadoes, at least 2 in the last 5 minutes. You folks in Perry have got to go to your safe spot. Okay?
This thing is lifted now.
Okay, it's lifted.
It's lifted now.
Okay, all right, it's lifted. All right, Darren, stay with it. Stay with it. This thing is right on the boundary. That's why it's able to produce the tornadoes that it's producing. And we had that live on the air again. Another live tornado. Golly. Okay, let's go into southwestern Oklahoma here. I'll tell you what, let's go to Jim Gardner. My bad. Let's take Jim Gardner's shot and get an update from Jim. He's on the same storm that Darren Stevens is on. And Jim, it looks like the tornado might have lifted. It was on the ground for just a few seconds there, it looked like, but maybe a minute or so. Give me an update. What's that right there, Jim? Is that on the ground?
There it is right there, David.
There
it's
it
on
is.
the ground again. It's on the ground again.
There it is.
So,
yes. Jim, where are you?
It's right out my left side of the helicopter, but it's on the ground again, David. When we first arrived there, we had multiple power flashes in the town of Orlando here, but you can see it right there on the ground, David.
Yeah, no, that's the tornado. It is on the ground, or at least it's intermittently on the ground. Live from Jim Gardner, live from Darren Stevens. We've got this storm covered, and Jim's looking right at it. Got lots of light brights in here. Okay, I don't see it on the ground. Boy, I sure did there for a second. It was condensate all the way to the ground.
Yeah, it was on the ground, David, for a little bit. I believe it's still on the ground here. It's just kind of hard to. Okay, there we zoom in. It's still on the ground, David. You can see it right there.
Yes.
It's still on the ground.
Okay, Jim, tell me your exact location. You're crossing I-35, and you're looking off to your north. Is that right?
No, I'm looking off to the west. I'm on I-35. Actually, I'm kind of looking off. I'm kind of to the northwest of that tornado.
Yes.
Back to the southwest. I'm coming right over the top of I-35 right now.
Okay.
If we look at the street scope, you can see Lakeview Road right there. Lakeview Road is right there.
Okay.
And east 610 Road is down further, but the tornado is right there. And
wow.
We just keep tracking it right now. I'm right over I-35 coming on the east side of I-35.
Right. Okay, Jim, keep this in mind. Darren Stevens is 6 miles north of you and had another tornado like 5 minutes ago. So different tornadoes on the line.
Okay, David, well, let's roll around. Okay, we're going to come off this one because I think come around to my right off my nose.
Okay, hang on.
Come around to my right off my nose.
All right. Hey, Jim, would you have Rich?
Okay, right there, David. That's where the other tornado is.
Yeah, it's to the north. Hey, Jim, would you have Rich maybe slightly adjust the lighting a little bit? It's very, very dark. If you could just have Rich
just
that,
David.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know. You got a million things going on up there.
Right here, just a minute. Let me get out of here.
I know. You got a million things going on. I understand.
There we go. We'll move over right here. So right up north is where Darren is.
Yes.
So that's the one Darren had.
Yeah, it's up here.
Right up there. When I looked, I got emergency lights to the north on that road. I don't know if you can see them flashing or not, David.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Maybe Deer Ridge is the road right in there.
Right. Hey, Jim, real quick, what's going on back to your southwest?
That was the one tornado on here. This one down here that I had, David, was just on the east side of Orlando. When we arrived at Orlando, we saw several power flashes in the town of Orlando. I'm going to have to roll around here, Rich.
Hey, Jim Gardner, look back to your west-southwest. Tell me what you see right now. What do you see behind you?
Side there. Okay, we got something on the ground over.
What do you see?
Back to where our tornado was.
Okay,
so
look
we got
at the
emergency lights going off over towards Orlando right now, David.
Yeah. Look at the motion in here.
That's where that tornado was. Yeah. So the confusion was Darren actually had one.
North.
And we had one south.
Yes.
Just east of Orlando. Here.
Yes. So you folks in Perry, Lake McMurtry in southeastern Noble County, and Morrison and Perry, you need to go to your safe spot. 2 tornadoes that are not together. They're along the same.
Got it on the ground again, David.
It's the same thing that happened with the supercell earlier.
Yes, it is. There it is. It's on the ground. That's the tornado. It's right here. And look how early in the day it is. It's just so dark. It's right here.
I just got a message from Cindy in Perry, said that she works at the Ditch Witch factory, which is right there, off the highway. Says that many of them were told to go home, but there's probably still some workers that are still there.
If they went home early in the day, they're okay.
Yeah, and still several that are still there. She came home early. She was just messaging to let us know.
I would assume that Ditch Witch has a, more than likely.
Tornado precaution plan for sure.
David.
Oh, yes.
Tom is still reporting a rain-wrapped possible wedge west of Mangum
right
now still.
We're going back down. That's our next stop. Okay, so Jim Gardner's on that. Let's go to Links 3. Stay with Links 3. Lacey, stay where you are. I want to talk about this storm up here real quick. Links 3 control room. This is Perry. There's one hook here. South of Perry, there's another inflow notch here. So we're getting 2 areas of spin, at least 2 areas of spin running from Perry back down to where Jim is, right? This whole area is trying to produce multiple tornadoes. If you live in Perry.
Tom has an update.
Let's go to Tom. Tom Pastrano. Let's take his shot. Go to Tom. Control room.
I got a large
control room.
Large violent tornado.
Okay, there it is.
He's in Mangum.
Okay, he's in Mangum. He's in southwestern Oklahoma. These people, I don't know if these are storm trackers or what they're doing, but Tom, is it going to hit Mangum? Is it going to hit Mangum? There's a tornado.
It looks like it's going to go just north of Mangum, but anybody on the west side of Mangum, you need to just take shelter. This is a large tornado.
Yes.
Earlier it was a wedge tornado. It looks like it's getting smaller, so that is good news.
But
Yep.
it's still really, really violent on the bottom there.
Yeah, okay.
And it's moving very, very fast.
Yes, it's moving at 50 miles per hour. There's the right side of the tornado. There's the left side of the tornado. It's kind of hard to see. That is a strong and has been a violent tornado. This is in the town of Mangum. Tom, what direction are we looking? We're looking off to the southwest, right?
You're looking off to the west-northwest now of Mangum.
West-northwest. Okay. All right, that's good for Mangum. That's good for Mangum. That's bad if you live north and northwest of Mangum. This is coming at you. You've got to get below ground. You've got to go to your safe spot. Look at the cone here. This is still, I know it's a thinner tornado than what we had. It is still a strong tornado, possibly a violent tornado. Even though it's maybe not as wide, and we think, oh, only the big ones are violent. No, 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 no. Small, thin tornadoes can be violent. But there's the tornado. Tom, it looks like it's almost stationary right now.
No. It's moving quick.
Okay.
We're getting strong RFD in Mangum right now, so we
Okay.
could still get damaging winds in Mangum.
Yes, absolutely. He said he's getting strong RFD winds. That's strong rear flank downdraft winds. That's the jet stream winds coming on the backside of the wrap. He's looking off to his northwest. These winds are going to come in and slam him. You're going to miss a tornado in Mangum, but you could have wind damage from that. That is a problem. Okay, keep that shot up, control room. Let's put it over there. Let's keep the shot up. What?
4 miles southeast of Marshall on the Mesonet in Logan County, we just had a wind gust to 94 miles per hour.
In Marshall and Logan County.
Yes,
okay,
where Jim and Darren have been.
Yep, that's tornadic. What do they have? Anything from Jim? Right, I'm seeing anything from Darren, Justin. No power flashes. Okay, folks, this is live from Southwest Oklahoma. It looks like his shot might have froze up here. That is a tornado on the ground. It has been a violent tornado, at least a strong tornado, going through Harmon County. It barely missed Mangum. Let's go to Links 3 control room and take a look at it here. Okay, this is Mangum. This is Mangum Community College. The tornado, there's the hook, right? And it's going northwest of town. It's right here. It's tucked back in here. Go to shear rate. Let's see what it looks like. It's right here. It's right here. Yeah, it's just right on the northwest side of town. Okay, engineers, we need to get his shot back up, please. Talking about Tom.
His shot is up.
It is up?
Yeah, but it's
No.
Yeah,
it's up. They see it. He's just having other problems.
Okay. Okay, because I don't see it here. I see it, but I don't see it. Okay, yeah, we need to get Tom's shot back in here. Okay, big hook, southwestern Oklahoma. Okay, next in line. We'll do a storm track. It's going to go to Granite, you folks in Granite. A lot of people live in and around Granite. We have the prison in Granite. A lot of folks that work there.
4.
And again, you folks in Granite, this has been a big tornado, and it's still on the ground. It's still on the ground northwest of Mangum. Tom is right there looking right at it. Alan Brosey coming in from the south. And again, this is moving off to the east. Hey, Justin, is Tom moving? Yeah, he's got to move.
Yeah, he's moving. It's just there might be some cell towers that might have been hit with those high winds. So.
Okay, that's fine. Just he'll get to another
moving.
cell tower.
David.
What's Alan doing?
He's moving as well.
Okay.
But there's a lot of traffic right now.
I know.
Marty will be coming in from the north side from Sentinel. He's getting gas, and then
Okay.
he'll drop south.
Okay, hang on. Let me back out. Let me see where that is.
Right here.
Okay. Yeah.
And look at the path, David. It's moving more northerly than the track than the warning has, and I think we need to start looking a little further up to the north as far as how this is moving. It's moving to the northeast,
Yes.
but it's not moving easterly by much.
No, it's almost on an arrow line here, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it's really
so close to Willow, south of Willow.
Yeah, let's go ahead and zoom on in. There's the tornado right there, north of town now. It's north of town. And hey, Justin, is he going south?
This is approaching Highway
Tom?
9 and Highway 283, that intersection right there.
He's going east. Okay,
west
back out of
Granite.
this. Back out of this just a second, Lace.
East of Mangum, and then he'll go north to Granite.
Yeah, he should have gone to 9. I'm thinking.
Way too much traffic, and it
Okay.
looks like it's occluding, so
Okay.
the new circulation might be to the east.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we have a lot of storm chasers here today, folks. A lot of storm chasers. Okay, so tornado on the ground. It's been a strong tornado, possibly a violent tornado. and it went right northwest of Mangum. We were jumping up and down about Mangum. It missed Mangum by maybe a mile, 2 miles, okay? And now from there, it's going to the northeast. Let's go to links 4. We'll do a storm track on that. And Cassie, do me a favor on links 4. Put on shear rate. Let me get my bearings straight here. Okay, thank you. And let's lapse that. Let that lapse just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, Brinkman at 531. Willow, 534. Retrop, 546. Retrop, watch it. This has been a strong to a violent tornado. Okay, to your southwest. We've had it live on the air in case you missed it. Dill City, 603. Elk City, 605. Burns Flat, 606. And we're talking about Clinton, the Water Zoo Park at 623. And Custer City at 639. Strong rotation now, north of Mangum, crossing 283. And it's going into, it looks like it's going to go west of Granite now. Definitely going to go west of Granite. But from there, it's going to go up towards Sentinel. Sentinel. Okay, let's back out here just a bit on that. Let me see where everybody is. Look at that. Look at that. A classic, dangerous, potentially deadly supercell. Dangerous storm there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we were afraid of for today.
Yeah, this is what we were jumping up and down about since last week, like for 10 days. And we've had that happen. We've had a strong tornado out of that, possibly a violent tornado. Okay, and then from there, it's going to Retrop. I can't say it enough. If you folks in Retrop or home, if you're paying attention, if you know somebody who lives in Retrop, they have to be thinking about what to do, where to go, and get ready. Who's coming in from the northeast? Who's up here? Who's this?
Marty.
No.
Oh,
Bobby.
There?
Yeah, Bobby's there. Okay, yep. I like that. We got to get Alan back in the game here. What's going on in the Texas Panhandle? Anything of any concern? Wind and hail right now. These are not too scary, not yet, but the low-level winds are just going to get more conducive for tornadoes here this evening. Okay. All right, so big, nasty supercell producing a strong to violent tornado. It's in Greer County. It's going to Retrop. It's going to possibly Clinton. And look at the hook on that. Look at the hook on that. Okay. Justin, what's Tom see? Justin, what's Tom see? What does Tom see? I know he's driving.
I think it's in the rain.
Go ahead.
The last I saw it was an Yeah, David, last I saw it was an elephant trunk tornado. It looked like it was getting weaker, but I think it's probably reorganizing because I'm looking back in that direction, and I see a dark area, but I cannot confirm if it's on the ground right now. Back to you, David.
Okay. Good job there, Tom. And once again, the tornado, it could be rain-wrapped, like he said, with strong rotation for sure. Again, this is in southwestern Oklahoma. This is where our trackers are. They're everywhere. They're in northern, central, and western Oklahoma out ahead of this line. Okay, so Tom is going eastbound. He's going to get back in position. This is that one storm that we talked about today that we said would probably be into western Oklahoma with a long track tornado. That's what we have going on right now. Marty Logan is east of it, coming in from the northeast, and if we can re-rec some of that video coming up. Okay, so big supercell. Do we have the Hollis tornado?
Yes.
The last one. Okay.
Mangum?
Yeah, Mangum. Okay, so there's that big supercell, and we're going to do a storm track on that. We'll get that ready. That, folks, if you live anywhere into western or southwestern Ouachita County, Sentinel, Burns Flat, Cordell, you have to be paying attention to this. This is a large storm. This is a violent storm that has produced a strong to violent tornado, okay, down here just about 15, 20 minutes ago. We had it live on the air, and it was wrapped in rain. Look at the circulation couplet here. Look at that. Check it out. Boom. Let's go to shear rate and see what it looks like if it cleans it up any. Yeah, circulation's right here still. Crossing west of Granite. You folks in Granite, I'd be in my safe spot right now. I would do it. Tornado's probably going to go just to your west, but I'd go ahead and do it. Classic supercell. Moving off to the northeast. Okay, let's come back north here, and let's do a storm track on that. Let's go to links 4, and we'll do a storm track. Once again, Retrop, 548, Sentinel, 555, Dill City, 604, Burns Flat, 607, Cordell, 612, Foss, 615, Bessie, 6:18. This storm is not weakening. It is still alive and well. It has plenty of air to breathe, and this thing is not going to die until it is gone. And this is what we've worried about today, our long track tornadoes. And again, we've got trackers down here. Tom is right there. Tom is still looking east. Let's go back in and check in with Tom. By the way, Clinton at about 6:30. Clinton at about 6:30 and Corn at about 6:28. Tom, when you look back to your left there, what do you see? Do you see the tornado on the ground, Tom?
No, not right now. I don't see the tornado. I do believe if there is one, it is rain wrap. What I'm trying to do is get ahead of the storm and get away from all of the crowds. Literally hundreds of people on the road, which is making it impossible to get any closer. So I'm going to try to get away from them and try to get ahead of it so I can get a better view of it. Back to you, David.
Okay. All right. Great job there, Tom. Good job. Stay with it here. Tom's going to get east and then get back to the north. Let's come back into